I want to flip that around. Good evening and welcome to Denham Springs High School football on Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at JohnFineProductions.com. Year 28 of Yellow Jacket football under the direction of John Fine Sports Productions is kicking off here tonight from Yellow Jacket Stadium for the annual Jamboree against the district and parish rival Walker Wildcats. I'm Josh Ward. Great to be back with you again for the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up brought to you by Sporting Center, your local sporting goods store in Denham Springs, serving Livingston Parish since 1977. At Sporting Center, they have everything you need from athletic equipment to school uniforms. So go see Stacy Phipps, James Adam McCants, and the terrific staff over at Sporting Center. That is 205 South Range Avenue in Denham Springs. Last time we were together, the 2022 Yellow Jacket football team was writing pages in the history book, making it to the quarterfinal round of the non-select playoffs, hosting Ruston here at Yellow Jacket Stadium, falling to the eventual group that would be the state runner-up, Ruston Bearcats, by a score of 49-31. A memorable season and a group that will be long remembered here for some time, but it's a whole new season and a whole new team and lots of players to replace from that squad last season, and we'll get our first glimpse of that team here tonight. As it is Jamboree action, the format for the varsity will be two 12-minute halves looking to start somewhere around 7:30 this evening. In the meantime, we will be bringing you some exclusive interviews highlighting one of Denham Springs' own Drew Nettles, who is set to be inducted into the Denham Springs Hall of Fame next Thursday at Forest Grove Plantation. A former football player and baseball player here at Denham Springs would later come back to be the head coach and athletic director and bring this program back to places it hadn't seen in some time. A relationship that was bonded in purple and gold would soon become cracked and distant after he was relieved of his duties following the 2016 season, which saw plenty of hardships on and off the field with the flood of 2016. We will have plenty to look back on and look forward to this evening, and we will have lots to talk about in Drew Nettles and his kind of return back here to Denham Springs, getting back into the purple and gold cloth, if you will. When we take a timeout, I'll come back. I'll be joined by our producer, John Fine, as we will get you set up here, and he'll give you a rundown of all the special we guests have coming up here tonight. So we'll take our first timeout. We'll be back after this on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. warm-up, Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats. Jamboree action here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Looking for the varsity to get kicked off about 7:30 here this evening. Josh Ward now joined by our producer, John Fine. Mitch Covington will be in just a little bit. But, John, thanks for stepping in for Mitch as he cleans up some of his coaching duties over at the junior high, and then he'll be here to join us as well. So year 28 under the direction of John Fine Sports Productions. A lot of people throughout the years that I'm sure have been great people to be have a part of this.
No doubt about it, Josh. None as good as you, of course, but yeah, there's been a lot of great people, starting out with Tommy Krysan and then Rick Delry and a whole bunch of people throughout the years, leading up to your being the play-by-play announcer. How many years is it for you now, Josh?
Let's see. I'm not sure exactly. 5, 6 back with you, I think.
I think it's been too long, whatever. No.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Yeah, there you go. And I have big shoes to fill here for Mitch Covington. Hey, I got to see Mitch's team play, the Denham Springs Junior High School team, defeating North Corbin in the Jamboree here at Yellow Jacket Stadium on Wednesday. So that was pretty good. Our 28th season, Josh, and I'm fired up. Some good things are going to be happening on our broadcast this year.
Yeah, we're working on some exciting stuff here. We hope to be bringing that to you next week, so stay tuned for that. We hope everything will work out the way we want it to. I think we're going to be in good shape for that. But, John, before we get too far into the weeds here, get lost and say something that we shouldn't, I know that here tonight is going to be very special. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of people coming in to talk about Drew Nettles and his induction into the Hall of Fame that's coming up, and you've got a great laundry list, if you will, of guests that are going to be coming on here this evening. Tell us about some of that.
No doubt about it. Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame will have its induction ceremony next Thursday evening at Forest Grove Plantation. And there are going to be 5 inductees into the Hall of Fame: Lakeisha Lee, Rusty Sanchez, Anthony Watts, Catherine Spangler-Dealan, and Drew Nettles. And with Drew's significance to Denham Springs High School football and baseball, for that matter, as a player and then as a head coach of the football team, and things didn't end that great for Coach Nettles when he moved to Zachary High School, but right now Denham Springs very much glad to have Drew Nettles back into the Jackets fold and in being inducted into the Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame. We'll have Kathy DeGeneres, the secretary of the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame, Trav Hopkins, Denham Springs baseball coach, Cade Murray, and Nick Berthelot of C&M Outdoor Power Equipment, both former Jackets players under Coach Nettles. Mitch Covington will come on, and Mitch was a coach on Drew Nettles' staff. And then at the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet post-game show, Jim McChristian and Robert Graves come on. That'll be preceded by Steve Long on the Small Sliders halftime report. Next week, Butch Wax, along with Brandon Rishu and Jim Spring, come on. So we have lots of guests to talk about good stuff. Jackets Athletic Hall of Fame.
And obviously, next Thursday, the actual ceremony taking place at Forest Grove there. We'll be in attendance again, and I appreciate you for letting me be a part of that. And it's always a special night to be able to go out and see those people and see all the former players and current players and coaches and former coaches that come back and be a part of it. It's always a special night.
They do a great job at Forest Grove Plantation, only matched by the superior effort of Denham Springs High School. They really have a world-class production, and we're expecting nothing but that this upcoming Thursday night, as you mentioned, Josh.
All right, John, and as we mentioned, entering the 28th season here, you've seen a lot of Yellow Jackets football. You've seen good, bad, and ugly. Last season, obviously, was a tremendous year for the Yellow Jackets, one of the best ones they've had in a number of years. What do you look to see out of this Yellow Jackets team, just from what you know so far?
I think moving in the right direction. Brett Beard has not only the football team, but the athletic department, all told, heading in a positive way. And we saw a lot of that last year, and we're hoping for some really good things for the Jackets. Defense, a little bit ahead of the offense. Deshaun McBride, maybe the best recruit for LSU, leading that defense. And offense has some terrific players, but they're young and inexperienced. So it'll be very interesting to see how that develops during the course of the year.
All right, John, your next guest coming up will be?
It will be Kathy DeGeneres.
All right, and Miss Kathy will be joining us right after this timeout on the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up.
Water, please. Shea Landry, closing attorney, milestone title. Brandon Rishu, Point Move Real
10
Estate,
seconds.
LA Campground. Stop. Ryan, Confused and Auto Sales.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Center Jackets warm up. John Fine, producer of Denham Springs High School football radio broadcast. The Jackets in action this evening against Walker High School in the Denham Springs High School Jamboree. And right now, it's our privilege to be joined by the secretary of the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame, Kathy DeGeneres. Kathy, how are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you, John.
Thanks for having us have you on the air tonight. And give us the particulars of the Denham Springs Athletic High School Hall of Fame.
Okay, the High School Athletic Hall of Fame was organized in 2010, and our first class was the class of 2011. Since then, 93 athletes, supporters, and coaches have been inducted, including those 5 who will be honored next week on Thursday, August 31st at Forest Grove. We have some tickets still available, and you can get those at the school office on Monday, and that'll be the last day that you can purchase a ticket. The price is $50, which includes a delicious meal by Forest Grove and video tributes of each honoree. Be sure that you don't miss this particular presentation because we have some wonderful video for everyone to look at.
Laura Wingate doing a great job at the school office as she is selling those tickets. And there's so many people who put out a good effort towards this. Your predecessor, Jim Spring, who we're going to have on the radio next week. Butch Wax is still a major, major part of the doings at Denham Springs High School, and particularly with the Athletic Hall of Fame.
Right. He doesn't know he's my co-secretary, but he is.
Okay. All right. So let's go over the inductees. First of all, Drew Nettles.
Okay. I had the privilege of teaching Drew when he was a senior, and then he was the football coach, of course, as when I worked here. Drew will be coaching that at the football game, but he's a 1989 graduate. He was a 4-time All-District catcher who starred on the 1986 state championship baseball team. He was also All-District safety in football. He holds the school record for the most career interceptions with 12. He had a baseball scholarship to Southeastern. And he was our athletic director and head football coach. And we went to the playoff 8 of 12 seasons with 2 district titles.
Now, as I channel my Leighton, the Drew Nettles Show co-hosting position, I'll ask you, senior year you had Coach Nettles. Was it hard for all the females in the class to pay attention with Coach Nettles being the matinee idol that he was?
Well, I wouldn't say matinee idol, more like the Sunday morning cartoons, perhaps. He was very, very quiet, and he wasn't a talkative person. You'd have to pull an answer out of him. But I believe he was won some sort of contest as Mr. Denham Springs High School or something.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I'd always give him a hard time about being named Mr. Denham Springs High School, and
See,
he would never admit it.
I don't know if that was it or not, but he did win some sort of title.
Okay, Lakeisha Lee.
Lakeisha was a 2011 honor graduate. She was a 5A basketball star, and that year our team had a 30-1 record. They made the state semifinals. She was all district and all parish most valuable, and one of only 5 Lady Jackets in the elite 1,000 point club. She earned a basketball scholarship to Northwestern.
Playing for Shelley LaPrairie, we might mention.
Yes.
Rusty Sanchez.
An 84 graduate, Rusty was a Class 4A All-State baseball pitcher who led Denham Springs to the state runner-up finish. He was a National Junior College All-American at East Mississippi Junior College, one of only 9 Yellow Jackets to earn distinction as a collegiate All-American.
Anthony Watts.
Yeah. 81 graduate, Anthony was a 4-time All-District Baseball and MVP1 selection. He was All-State as a sophomore and the only unanimous choice as a pitcher. He led the Jackets to the state semifinals with 100 strikeouts.
And Catherine Spangler-Dealan.
A 1991 graduate I was privileged to teach. Catherine was a heralded 4A All-State basketball star and USA Today top 10 player, team captain, academic All-State, class valedictorian. She's one of only 5 Lady Jackets in the elite 1,000-point club and earned a basketball scholarship to Southeastern.
During the awards presentation, during the induction ceremony, talk about one of the neatest things is that there is a row of all the past inductees and the newcomers come marching down. Talk about that.
Right. Every year that we've had the ceremony, anyone who is there who is a past inductee or a relative of one who's passed away form 2 lines, like a corridor down the middle of the banquet hall, and we have those new inductees come in and shake hands as they go down, sort of like the winning a race or something. But it's an honor that some of the old guys get to see what these new inductees look like.
She is Catherine DeGeneres, Secretary of the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame. I'm John.
JohnSonProductions.com are brought to you as far by Mr. Armas. That's
8,
Ivy L. Graham and Firefly
4, 3,
important patient.
1, go.
It's Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree kickoff at or about 7:30 this evening. My name is John Fine, the producer of the Denham Springs High School Yellow Jackets football broadcast, as we are rejoined by Kathy DeGeneres, Secretary of the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame. Sporting Center Jackets warm-up continues And Kathy, talk about what it was like taking over from Jim Spring, who still contributes, but Jim did such a great job getting this thing going with others, and you were one of those others. But talk about what it's like. Has it been a little bit easier as you're in your fourth year doing this?
Uh, yes, I guess, but it's still very nerve-wracking to follow someone like Jim because everything was very organized and everything had a folder and all that. So I have totally messed up his filing system if he wants it back.
All right. Jim being the great military man that he once was. And a big controversy, the spelling of degenerous. Let's talk about that.
Well, a long time ago, we just gave up correcting people, but it was supposed to be, and the marriage license says D, small d, capital G. And we don't spell it like Ellen, but or anyone else in that family, anybody's family named DeGeneres. So.
All right. Well, we're going to have a grassroots effort to correct that egregious sin. What's it been like? And I don't understand because you look like you're 21 years old, but
Yeah.
you said you've been over a half a century involved with Denham Springs High School.
You didn't have to say half a century. That sounds so much worse.
All right, 57 years.
Right,
That better?
This is my 57th football season at Denham Springs High School, and that started when I was just in diapers, I guess. No, not really. I was at Southeastern. We were not married yet, and I was a sophomore at Southeastern, and I would ride over here on Fridays with Miss Carlisle's parents, who lived in Hammond, as she was from Hammond, and they would bring me to the game, and then Lloyd would take me back to the dorm after the game was over.
The late, great Big D, a legend, Denham Springs High School assistant coach extraordinaire. And tell us a Big D story that people might not have heard. You have anyone off the top of your head?
No,
No?
I can't think. I hear one every time I talk to somebody, and I'll hear something new, but I haven't heard any new ones lately. But I'll try to come up with one. You need to warn me
No,
ahead
that's
of time.
okay.
Okay,
I mean, he was larger than life.
I'll say, and people knew he was there because he usually talked loud, larger than life as well.
Okay, finally, Josh Ward and Mitch Covington, both under your tutelage, very much excelled at Denham Springs High School, or at least they graduated, we believe. We're not sure about Josh. What were these two guys like, the play-by-play and color analysts for Denham Springs football broadcasts?
Last year, they were fantastic. I can't wait to hear tonight, if I get to stay in this nice, cool room, what it's going to be like this year. But both of them were talented, and Mitch was well behaved for the most part.
Josh?
And Josh, I don't remember anything egregious that went on. I taught Josh's mother, so I had a little leverage with Josh. So if I could speak to his mother, and I didn't have to worry about Josh behaving. So,
Kathy, thank you for everything that you do with Denham Springs High School. Appreciate it. Keep up the great work, and we look forward to another 57 years with you at Denham Springs football. Thanks, Kathy.
thank you.
That's Kathy DeGeneres, Secretary of the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame.
Take
I'm
this off.
John Fine. It is Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree. Coming up next, it's Jackets baseball coach Trev Hopkins when the Sport Incentive Jackets warm continues after this pause on Yellow Jackets football. It's Warm continues. My name is John Fine, producer of Denham Springs High School football broadcasts, and we are joined by Jackets baseball coach and football watcher extraordinaire, Trav Hopkins. Coach Hop, how are you?
I'm doing good, brother. How about you?
Doing really well. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And where else would you be on a Friday night or some Thursday nights in the fall other than Denham Springs football? You catch all the games.
That's right. Yep. Wouldn't miss it.
Tell us why. That's kind of unusual.
Man, I love football. I played it, and I got a lot of my guys down here, and I played football in high school, and it's just something about when the lights come on. It's, I think once it gets in your blood, you can't really get it out.
Well, you got some good news and bad news over the weekend. And the bad news that your name got mentioned a lot, but it was to be broken. The good news is you held a very, very good record for a number of years at your high school. Talk about that.
Yeah, I was a kicker, and I held the record for the longest field goal at my high school for 23 years, and a young man broke it last night. So that was kind of bittersweet, but I'm going to try to call the guy sometime soon and wish him congratulations.
Terrific. Fantastic. Now, you were on the Ray Guy list. That's pretty cool.
Back in 1999. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Did you ever consider pursuing football on the collegiate level?
I did. I got offered to Marshall, but it came down to grades and baseball, and I had to make a decision on which one I wanted to do, and grades kind of took some of them out, and then I chose baseball over it.
If things work differently, could you be a football coach now and not a baseball coach?
I do love football.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think I know enough to be out there trying to make any kind of decisions to affect a football game.
All right, which players play baseball for Coach Hop and are on Brett Beard's football team?
Phew, I got about 10 of them.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. We got about 10. Some of them are out there in the JV game right now, and some be in the varsity game. And yeah, we got a good bit to play both sports.
Now, a lot of coaches will prohibit or discourage their players from playing another sport, but that's not your philosophy.
No, if a kid wants to play something, they get 4 years to choose what they want to do, and then after they graduate high school, you don't get to make that choice anymore. So if a kid wants to do something, they need to do it, and if they don't want to do it, they don't need to do it,
Do you think that they work out and develop different muscles and different skills by playing different sports?
My 8-year-old plays football, baseball, basketball, and soccer.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it just comes down to what you like doing.
All right, cool, fantastic. What about, there's been some talk, especially amongst pitchers who have been pitching a long time, that there is an overuse injury factor component. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, for sure. Like right now, we're not throwing any baseballs right now. We're lifting weights and hitting and sprinting and trying to get more explosive. But, yeah, you have to put the ball down for a little bit. If not, these kids play baseball year-round now.
So that's the reason itself, is that you want to let them rest a little bit in that regard?
Yeah, and like the guys that are just in baseball only, they're lifting weights and, they're grinding and trying to get their bodies back right for the season. But you have to let that arm rest a little bit, or else something's going to give at some point.
Where are you as far as implementing your system at Denham Springs High School?
We're getting there. There's been big improvement. The batting average has increased every year since I've gotten here. This past season was the first year we had a winning season, I think, in 5 years. So we're moving in the right direction. It didn't end like we wanted last year, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. So I'm excited to see this new crop. We're going to be young this year to see how they take that challenge on. I think they will.
Now, we were talking off the air. You're really excited about LSU baseball and Jay Johnson.
Oh, he's a great dude. Jay's different than a lot of these big D1 coaches. He's the type that, I'm just a little peon high school coach, and if I ever text him or call him, he responds right then or picks up, or if not, he calls me back, and he's definitely involved in the state of Louisiana at the high school level with making relationships with the coaches, and he's a good guy.
And what's really neat is that he is bringing on a player that you coached back when you were in Mississippi.
Yeah. He was at the school that I was at when he was younger, and I know his family really well. He's at Jackson Prep. I didn't coach at Jackson Prep. I knew when he was younger.
Okay.
And but yeah, I know Connor and his mom and dad really well. Good people.
What's his last name?
Griffin.
Collar Griffin. Is he going to be a two-way player for LSU?
I think so. If he don't go, he's projected to go first few picks in the draft next year. And but Jay's done a pretty good job of keeping those guys. Everybody wants to play for the Tigers.
No doubt about that. How you like your new field?
It's nice, isn't it? Oh, you can see it from right here. She's pretty. We love it. The players love it. If it rains, we're able to still get work in. If the weather's bad, we've got the indoor over there. We're able to still hit and lift and even do our sprint work in there. It's really nice.
We're going to come back with more of Coach Hop, Trav Hopkins, the head baseball coach at Denham Springs High School, when Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up continues after this pause on Denham Springs football. Set.
So much to him.
Springs and Walker and the Jackets Jamboree kickoff at or about 7:30. My name is John Fine, producer of the Denham Springs High School football radio broadcast. Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. We're rejoined by Coach Hop, Trav Hopkins, the head baseball coach at Denham Springs High School. And Coach, talk about the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I know that you're excited to be part of a school and an athletic program that has such an event.
Yeah, it's really cool because every town doesn't have that. I think it's special that because there's a lot of players from the past that made a big impact on the school, the sports, and the whole community that they deserve that type of recognition.
Had you seen anything like that in Mississippi?
No, both the few schools I was at before I came here, we didn't have that at any of the schools.
All right, outstanding. Talk about Brett Beard, the leadership that he's provided, and you're working with him as his being the football coach, you being the baseball coach, his being the athletic director, you being the baseball coach.
Well, he's a big guy, and he shows big support. He tells me every day he's a baseball guy, too. I keep telling him to come teach my guys to hit. I hadn't got him out there yet. But Brett and his staff has done a phenomenal job of football. Brett's done a great job of bringing pieces in, not only for his sport, but all the other sports here at Denham to help move this thing in a direction that's best for the kids, to help, promote them and help them get better as players and people.
Is there an off season for Denham Springs baseball? Talk about that. You discussed how you've pretty much put the balls down right now, but the kids are still, the ones that are not with other sports are still with the Denham Springs baseball program, getting better every day.
Right. Yeah. So the season ends around May, and then you got Metro in June, and we take about a 2 or 3 week break off in July, and then we hit the daggum ground running. We're lifting, sprinting. We lift every morning, and it doesn't stop. Baseball started. I think all the sports have started getting to where it's more of a year-round thing, and you just got to be real careful as a coach to make sure you don't wear them out, but at the same time you got to build them up, because the guys that are out of here in football, they're getting bigger and stronger, and they're not getting bigger and stronger across the road. They're gonna get passed up. So it's definitely a thing now. You got to prepare an athlete to perform months before the season starts. You can't just show up with the ball and bats and play anymore.
Well, had they told you that you were going to be in the district you're in right now, would you have moved from Mississippi here? Talk about,
It's a tough district.
Yeah, it might be as good as, help me out here,
As the Barb district. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's one too. For sure, you start talking Santa Ma, Dutchtown, Live Oak, Walker, East Ascension's usually really good. Kay does a good job over there, even though they was down last year.
I was talking about the NL Central, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's about the same thing. That's the thing. You play your regular season, you play some tough teams, and then you get to district, and they're even tougher. You don't really get a break. But Scotlandville's not in our district anymore, so it's every game. And once you hit district, it's if you ain't got your chin strap on tight, you're gonna get your helmet knocked off.
There you go. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us. Keep up the good work. We look forward to talking to you later on in the season.
I appreciate it. Go Jackets.
That's Trav Hopkins, Coach Hop, head baseball coach of the Denham Springs High School Yellow Jackets. Up next, a couple of former Jackets players under Coach Drew Nettles. It'll be Nick Berthelot, Cade Murray joining us when we return on Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up on Yellow Jackets football. Just want to remind you that Important Center Jackets warm-up. My name is John Fine, producer of Jackets broadcast, Denham Springs and Walker, in the Denham Springs Jamboree. The kickoff coming your way at or about 7:30 with Josh Ward and Mitch Covington on the call. And right now, we start to take an extensive look on new Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame member Drew Nettles as we speak to people who coached with him, who played for him, who coached him, and in all different regards, in all different capacities, as Drew Nettles was a terrific baseball and football player at Denham Springs High School, and then did a great job as the Denham Springs football coach as well. And with us right now is Nick Berthelot. Nick was a terrific defensive player. Nick, linebacker, safety, what are we looking at back when you played?
I got the honor to play strong safety.
Strong safety, okay. Which is sort of like a combination in a certain sense. Nick, talk about your relationship with Drew Nettles.
Me and Coach Nettles were tight. We had a good relationship. I come up through him completely. He was my head coach from freshman year all the way up to senior year. Great coach. You know, we had a couple good runs our junior and senior year. We had a good ball club, and you know, everything was, you know, going our way. We had a couple ups and downs, but overall, you know, great experience. You know, definitely, you know, put a huge impact on my life.
What years were the Jackets?
I graduated in 2016, so that was the 15-16 season was good, and then 14 and 15. It would have 15.
It would have been the 14 and 15 seasons,
the 14
right?
and 15 seasons. We had two very good ball clubs. Our junior year, we were actually able to make it to the second round of the playoffs, which was a big milestone. I think it was a 20-year standing deal where we did not make it past the first round, and we made it to the second round that year.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Coach Brett Beard is getting this program moving in the right direction, but Coach Nettles really did that when he was the head coach of the Jackets. What did he do to turn the team around, in your opinion?
Man, we just had a good group of guys. We were close. We worked together, and we had a good staff around us. We had good, just a good formation of just great foundation of everything. I couldn't say it enough. They stood with us, and we had a heck of a ball club those couple years.
What made Coach Nettles so special to play for?
Man, he had good energy. He came in. He told us what we needed to do. He made sure he held us accountable. I can't say enough about him. He was a great guy, a great coach.
Now, you liked him so much, you were a regular viewer of the Drew Nettles show, right, on TV?
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing it.
All right. There you go. Fantastic. Now, when you're not out talking about Drew Nettles during the day, your day job is with C&M Outdoor Power Equipment. Talk about that.
Well, we're a locally owned shop right here on the corner of Jubin and 190. We sell all sorts of stuff. Anything, including that you want to get into the lawn business. You need a weed eater just for your house. We got you covered. We're right there on the corner of Jubin and 190. We sell multiple brands. We service everything we sell.
And as we're taking care of business and pleasure, C&M Outdoor Supply, Power Equipment, a new sponsor on our broadcast, and really love having Travis and the entire gang of C&M being with us on this broadcast. And one thing that I was told is that you guys are a bunch of Denham guys, huh? I mean, you'll actually work with someone who's from Central, but you're Denham through and through, right?
Oh, yeah. We occasionally work on somebody from Central, but, we got to watch them.
All right. There you go. And talk a little bit about our color commentator on these broadcasts, Mitch Covington. You know him fairly well, huh?
Oh yeah, he was there the whole time we were there. He had great energy. He was a firecracker for sure. He'd get on somebody quick. But although he was there for us whenever we needed him, he was a great coach.
Now, how about your partner coming on in a few moments? Talk a little bit about Cade Murray.
Oh man, he was a great guy. He got us out of a couple binds in a couple games. The kicker's a very unappreciated position in this game, but he definitely stood out and made some plays that definitely made us get over the edge in a very, very tight situations. And those sometimes become unappreciated because you don't realize it.
Now, the biggest thing with him, I think, is you had to get him out of a bad habit. When the football would roll to him after an errant pass or a drop pass or what have you, he'd go and he'd try to kick it like it was a soccer ball or something.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a problem?
That hurt. He'd get away from you. He was a scrappy little guy. He was fast, man, I tell you.
Well, he was a good soccer player, too, right?
That's right. He set many a records at Denham.
Okay, there you go. What would it have been like to play on this field? What do you think about the new setup they have here?
Man, it would have been great. This is awesome. Definitely an electric feeling. 7:30 comes around the kickoff. We get the butterflies, get the goosebumps. This would be a good place to play here.
All right, so getting back to Drew Nettles, you're going to be pretty proud when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame next Thursday night, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, he's very deserving of that. He had a great run here. He did us well, and that's congratulations to him.
Who are some of the teammates that you played with that Jackets fans might remember?
Brennan Wall, Caleb Roddy, several. Let me think. I just drew it. Therese Kinchin, Dewante Edwards, Josh Haynes. They had multiple people that were very good and stood out. We just had a great ball club.
What was the highlight of your career playing? What was the game that stands out or your best personal performance that you remember?
I'd say playing Woodlawn, beating Beard. That was that we took them down at their house on a cold night. It was probably one of the coldest nights of the year, and we went out there and we beat them on their field.
First round of the playoffs, right?
First round of the playoffs, and I tell you what, I've never seen Nettle so fired up in his life. That was ecstatic. That was an energy that you were definitely needed to be there to feel it.
Now, if you get a chance when you're done with this interview, will you go on the field, try to catch Brett Beard, and tell him about that great experience that you had against?
Oh, of course, he'd be a good. He'd be a good sport about it.
All right, there you go. Nick, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on a great career with the Jackets, and thank you for helping us commemorate Drew Nettles.
Thank you.
That's Nick Berthelot. You want to say go Jackets?
Go Jackets.
There we go. Nick Berthelot. Coming up next, it's Cade Murray, another C&M Outdoor Power representative who is a former Jacker kicker, played for Coach Nettles. A very interesting story about his transition from soccer to football. When we return after this pause, it is Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree. I'm John Fine. We'll come back with more of Sporting Center Jackets warm-up after this pause on Yellow Jackets football. Jackets warm up. I'm John Fine, producer of Yellow Jackets football, and Denham Springs will be going up against Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree with a kickoff at or about 7:30 as we continue to commemorate Drew Nettles being inducted into the Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame this Thursday, 6:30, Forest Grove Plantation. Tickets still available through Monday afternoon at Denham Springs High School. We are joined by Cade Murray, a one-time Denham Springs soccer and football standout. Cade also representing a great new sponsor that we have in C&M Outdoor Power Equipment. Cade, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Mr. John.
Sure thing. Absolutely. Now, what do you think about this pitch out here? Would you like to have played soccer out here?
Absolutely.
And how about football?
Absolutely.
Okay. Talk about how you ended up becoming a Jacket football player. How did that work out?
Actually, it was so I was a soccer player. So football is definitely my second-hand sport. But Coach Cove over here actually recruited me from the soccer team to come kick my junior year. So my junior year was my first year.
What
as
year
a
was that?
kicker. My junior year. That's 2015 to 14. Must have been 14.
Okay.
So.
All right. So, how was Nick Berthelot as a teammate?
Oh, he was just like any other, He was all right.
He was okay, all right?
No, he's big, he's bad, he's strong. He's a good player. He's a great player.
Did he respect you as a kicker?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. So, what was it like when Coach Covington first approached you? What were your thoughts?
I was kind of nervous. I'd never kicked a football before, other than my junior year of high school. So I was a little nervous, but it's a lot different than soccer. I can tell you that. There's a lot more that goes into it.
More with technique?
Well, for one, the ball is a lot rounder in soccer, so it's a little harder to kick in football. I can tell you that. But technique's got to be down. It's got to be very consistent. Very consistent.
What position you play in soccer?
Forward to midfield. Predominantly.
Okay. Who's your coach?
Chris Thorne.
Okay. So, how did it work out to play both sports at the same time? What did you do practice-wise?
I didn't. So I had to practice twice a day. I had to have football practice. I had to have soccer practice. So it was kind of tough. My soccer coach didn't let me play anything. He was, other than kicker on the football team, he was very strong about that. He didn't want me to do anything else that would harm me in my soccer career at Denham. So.
All right. What did you like playing better once you got into the football routine?
Oh man, I was a lot better at soccer. A lot better, so I'd probably have to say soccer. I loved football. I had a lot of my friends were in the football team, so that's what made me convert, I guess you would say.
A brief digression, but a pet peeve of mine. How does LSU have a women's soccer team but not a men's soccer team? Does that bother you at all?
I believe it has something to do with the program itself, as far as how many D1 organizations they can have.
Right.
I don't think you could have. Most places that have a D1 soccer team, a women's soccer team, do not have a D1 soccer team for men.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, what it comes down to is the scholarship numbers and gender equity and so on and so forth. And so a lot of the men non-revenue sports have gone by the wayside or have not been created. And sometimes there's a women's counterpart where there's no male sport to match that. So, in your prime, okay, I want you to compare yourself with Lionel Messi. Be honest, who's a better player? Now, don't be modest now.
I don't know. I think I would have to go with Messi.
Is that right?
I think
Okay.
so, man. I really do.
Have you seen him play?
I have seen him play.
What you think? Is all the build-up
He's quick.
right?
He's small and quick. He's easy to get. He can get by you really, really quickly.
Is he the best player you've ever seen?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Playing for Miami right now. Very, very interesting.
That's pretty interesting, yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Coach Nettles. What made him so special?
So he was a good football coach. I didn't get to see him too much, being the kicker, but he made it feel like a family. He was very strong about that. He wanted you to know that, on and off the field we were family. He said it before every game. He said it before every practice and after. So he wanted the players to feel like they were at home, and that's what he made me feel like.
Do you have any Mitch Covington stories you could convey to
man.
us?
Thank you. Thank you. He was actually really the only kicking coach we had. I guess if you could say, he'd go back there and he'd kind of tell me what to do as far as how to kick, where to kick, what steps to take. So he really guided me through that a good bit. Him and Coach Abear.
Has he gotten a big head now that he's a broadcasting superstar on Denham Springs football broadcasts?
Humble as can be.
Oh, okay, there you go. Fantastic. All right, talk about how proud you are to see Coach Nettles be inducted into the Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Very proud. He's very. He definitely deserves it. I can tell you that right now. I know you couldn't ask one person on my team in 2016 that would have one negative thing to say about him.
That's really terrific to hear. Great. Now, if there's an Outdoor Power Equipment Hall of Fame, C&M would be in the inaugural class, huh?
We might would be in it. We might would be in it. We've been around since the 1960s, so it's been family operated and owned since the 1960s, and we plan on taking that tradition and keep going forward.
Well, and the great thing is that you will fix any brand that you sell from your store.
Any brand we sell, that's Skag, Toro, Steel, Shindawa, Husqvarna, we got it.
All right.
Anything we sell, we fix.
What's it like to have a family-run business? I know that there's you, your dad, your older sister works there.
My mom.
Oh, that's your mom? Okay,
She's
all
my
right.
mom. But yeah, we actually, when we started working there, me and Nick have worked there since high school, and it's really rewarding. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to help a lot of people, so they help you, you help them. But it's a very rewarding job to keep your community clean too. So
You're local, and that's really
Local.
important.
and local.
All right, thanks so much, Kay. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate
Want to
you.
shout out to your cousin Cole. He was the first one who pointed me in the direction to C&M, and one of the things he said is they're Denham people. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, we are Denham. My family's been raised in Denham. My grandparents were raised in Denham. Then before that, so yeah, it's all locally owned. But my dad graduated in Denham, and my mom graduated from Denham High School.
Now, Kate, I was just kidding when I talked to Nick and said that the problem is that you would kick the football as if it was a soccer ball when an errant ball would come. You never did that, right?
Oh, I might have. You gotta kick it. I mean, shoot.
Okay.
I've
There you
been
go.
known to pick
You
it
got
up and
me.
run it too. So
Kate, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Keep up
yes,
the
sir.
great work.
Thank you.
That's Cade Murray, former Jackets football soccer player. I'm John Fine. Cade helping us pay tribute to Drew Nettles. And coming up next, Mitch Covington, Yellow Jacket color commentator, will talk about his time on the staff of Coach Nettles when we return after this pause on Sporting Center Jackets warm-up on Yellow Jackets football. Welcome you back to Yellow Jackets football, Sporting Center Jackets warm-up, Denham Springs and Walker in the Denham Springs Jamboree at or about 7:30. And with us right now, the esteemed color commentator of Denham Springs football broadcast, one-time Jackets player, and one-time coach, Mitch Covington. Mitch, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
John, I'm happy to be here, man, and happy for another year, and can't wait to watch some more Jacket footballs. Friday nights are here, and out there on the field with the Jamboree tonight and ready to get started.
There we go. Well, we're going to have you on specifically during the segment to talk about Coach Nettles, but let's talk about a couple of players that you're very, very fond of, and they would be Cade Murray and Nick Berthelot. Talk a little bit about Nick, first of all.
Yeah, both guys, fine young men and all, and but Nick, I did, as Cade was talking earlier, I would coach, defensive backs. I coached receivers, but also I had a lot of the special teams, and so a lot of the kickoff coverage guys, kickoff return, and that's where I got to work closely with Nick. Nick was a defensive player, outside linebacker, defensive end type, but on my special teams, he was on all the punt coverages and kickoff returns and all of that, and always did a great job out there, and I was really, happy to have him, and I tried to get him on every one of them I could. He got just the only time he could rest was when we were on offense, because I wanted him out there on all the special teams.
Okay, were you able to get him out there on those special teams?
I got him out there most of the time, and we were just talking a little while ago. Remember one that I do remember completing a pass to him on a fake punt against Destrehan in a playoff game. We went over there. I don't know what year that was, Nick. Probably 2014-ish, 2015. We would go to Destrehan in the first round, and I remember we'd put in a fake punt about 2 weeks earlier, and then we pulled it out, and it worked, executed it well. So.
Now, talk about your recruiting Cade Murray off of the Denham Springs soccer team. How'd that happen?
Well, that's you gotta keep your eyes out when out there at soccer practice. You gotta kind of keep eyes, see who can kick it, who's got a good leg and all of that. And I remember we got getting Cade out here to work, and I do remember specifically he talked about coming out his junior year. And I remember the first year you're kicking it just takes a little while. He mentioned to get used to kicking the football as opposed to the soccer ball. But I remember JV games, those kickoffs with the beginning of the year, it's getting about to the 30 and the 25-yard line. But by the end of the year, he's kicking it back there to the 10 and the 5-yard line, and you just see the growth and getting used to it, kicking the ball and timing up his footwork as he's lined up for his kickoffs. And then, of course, he did fine that year kicking extra points and things like that. Well, that all built into the next year, kicking varsity-wise, doing the kickoffs and then making the field goals and extra points. And I remember seeing the growth from when he first got out there at the beginning of his junior year to where we finished off by senior year.
Well, with all due respect to your quality coaching acumen, who taught you how to be a kicking coach?
Well, I'm going to be honest now. Coach Hebert, he mentioned Coach Hebert earlier. Coach Hebert would work with him more technique-wise. I didn't always try to line him up with footwork and all. Coach Hebert did a good job with that. We would just talk sometimes directions on where we're kicking it with the kickoff and things like that, and on the extra points, working the timing. But Coach Hebert was a former kicker himself, and he really got a little bit more technical than I did.
So basically, you would figure out who won the opening coin toss and then tell them where to kick?
Well, in the weeks before, that week of prep, you're scouting and you know who's going to be lined up where on their kickoff return and where we felt what guy we tried to, keep it away from, their key return guy or something that we tried to get in somebody else's hands. And so, yeah, we kind of had that worked out during the week.
Like the way you parried that attempted insult on my part. I apologize for that, too. Mitch, talk about Drew Nettles.
Oh, well, Coach Nettles, I've heard you mention on the, I've been listening to you talk this evening and all, and yes, I did coach for him, but man, we go back, long before that. I do remember as a kid, you mentioned him being on the state championship team as a catcher. He was a freshman on that team, and I was 9 years old, I think, when that happened, and I remember being at the games and watching them win the state title. But then as he finished in high school, he knew he was going to get into coaching as he was going into college baseball and all, but he was coaching Pards teams out in the summer. And, as I was younger than he was, so that's about the age group he started coaching. And then as we were 15 years old, he was coaching our all-star baseball teams and calling pitches for me then. And so then, of course, when he had married Shelly Earnhardt, I'd grown up with her brother, Clint. So all my life I was, growing up with Clint, so I was real tight with that family already. And so I knew Drew long before started coaching with him. But it's not just a Denham connection. He got me over at Woodlawn High School. I was finished up playing baseball at McNeese State in Lake Charles, and I was getting into my student teaching, and he was able to get me over at Woodlawn to student teach with him in the gym. So he was my mentor in PE, not just football, but he was my mentor as a PE coach. And so I was with him all that first semester, and then I was able to get a spot at Woodlawn as his assistant baseball coach that January. A spot had opened up. So I spent a couple years at Woodlawn with him, and then I had left. He was the head baseball coach at that time. And then I left, got a head baseball job at Christian Life Academy, and I left for a couple years. And then when he became the head football coach at Woodlawn, he called me back, said, hey, man, I want you to come be my baseball coach, be my head baseball coach. And so I was head baseball and then assistant football for him there. So I spent 3 years coaching with him again at Woodlawn, so a total of 5 years with him. And then he came back to Denham. It wasn't I wasn't ready at that time to come back home at Denham, still doing some things, working elsewhere in a few areas. But then in 2010, I came back home, and Drew, was always there with a hand reached out for me, taking care of me. And so, I spent the next 6 or 7 years as his assistant coach here at Denham High School. And he's always been great to me and done a super job, not only as a player here at Denham High, but just as a head coach when he was here, and still continue to do good things.
The state championship baseball team that you watched when you were 9 years old, do you remember them playing? Do you remember Coach Nettles, at the time Drew Nettles, catching Ben McDonald?
Well, I could tell you what I specifically remember is that I remember Ben McDonald was pitching. He pitched in the quarterfinal game, and I know that it didn't start out real well. And then we ended up rallying and coming back, and that game went extra innings, and Ben probably pitched all. It went 9 or 10 innings, and he pitched all of that. But I know for the state finals, the TV broadcast at the end on WAFB on the news, we had it recorded, and Glenn Glass gets the game-winning hit in extra innings, and as they interviewed him on TV, I was standing right behind him in the camera shot, and I just always had that recorded at home, and I used to watch the highlights of that championship game, and so my memories of the championship game are really a lot more from the highlights that I used to watch because, like I said, I was standing right behind Glenn Glass as he got interviewed for TV, and so I had that at my house and used to watch it.
Isn't that something? Wow. What made Drew Nettles so special as a coach, as a mentor to you?
Well, just like you said, just as a mentor and just everything from it's both baseball and football. He was a head baseball coach before he was head football, and I was in the same boat. Kind of baseball was my primary area, I guess, you would say. I was assistant coach to him and just learning and, watching how he, worked with parents and how he raised money and how he just ran the program and how you just you work with an off season and just kind of learning how to be a coach as far as, it's one thing to stand out there. You think as you play college ball and all that and you go into it and you know a few things and you think you can coach techniques of baseball, but being a coach, there's so much more than just that. It's just, like I said, how to run the program and how to make sure your kids are attending class well, how to have an off-season weight workout and how to, do an off-season program in the summer with your baseball teams. And then as a football coach, as I was working with him there, just he did a great job of getting kids in the school excited to play. I know that that was one of the big things at Denham. We used to see it from the other side. We were coaching at Woodlawn, and Denham was in our district maybe a year or two, but even when they weren't, we played them a lot of times, and you could see it from the outside in that, man, they don't have the kids out there playing. There's a lot of kids at school that could help, but they're not out on the football team. And when Drew came back, he brought back some excitement. He was able to get kids excited about playing again. A lot of those maybe good athletes that only just played baseball all of a sudden said, we're going to play football and baseball. And then some of the other kids, like we talked about Cade a while ago, Cade Murray, soccer players come out. We need your help on, football also, and get kids doing more than just being, a one-sport focused guy. Drew played football and baseball in high school. I played 3 sports actually in high school, and, it's just, that's what high school sports could be, to be involved in a lot of things more than just focusing in one area.
Talk about the success that Drew Nettles has as a football coach, given the fact that he was a baseball player and baseball coach, and he knew to work with a baseball coach. His defensive coordinator was Mark Carroll, the head baseball coach at Denham Springs at the time. So that was one of the keys to the Jackets' success under Coach Nettles.
Oh, it certainly was. And you want to have a staff just at the school. There's only so many teaching spots. Most of your coaches have to be teaching in a position at the school. Every now and then you get some guys to volunteer. You have a couple of volunteer coaches that don't teach at the school, and they can show up at 2 o'clock and start meeting with you and getting ready for practice. But most of your coaching staff are going to be teaching at the school. Well, there's only so many spots to go around, and so you need coaches that like Coach Carroll, like you said, he's the head baseball coach, but he was defensive coordinator in football. And we had head, Coach Josh Neal was the head football coach, but he was head track coach, and a lot of guys that could do other things, and then all are able to work together. You don't like to be on staffs, and I coached at 5 or 6 different high schools over the course of this is my 24th year now, and sometimes you get on some staffs that the football coaches don't really get along with the basketball coaches, and the basketball coaches don't get along with these. Well, Drew was never like that. Drew got along great with all the other sports. They all worked together. Coach Caballere was hired when Drew was here. They both got along real great, sharing football and basketball guys. And, he worked, of course, great with Coach Carroll because Coach Carroll's wanting his baseball guys out here playing football because he's coaching football himself, and he wanted a lot of those guys. It was funny. A lot of the baseball guys ended up on defense. They were always with Coach Carroll playing defense, playing with him. But, just working with all the coaches on the staff, and that's important at a high school.
Fight on, Coach Neal. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Mitch, you did so well with this interview. How about stick around for the rest of the broadcast? What do you think about that?
Well, if you'll twist my arm, maybe I'll hang around. And I see Josh he's getting antsy. He's ready to start getting on there. This clock is ticking down on the JV game.
All right.
And it looks like the varsity game is going to be just about maybe 30 minutes away or so, and it's about time to get the main event going, right?
Before we do that, quick shout-out to Kathy DeGeneres.
Oh, well, definitely. I was late kind of getting here. We finished up my junior high practice and getting some kids home and all that, but I was listening to Miss DeGeneres in the car. In fact, I was trying to get out the car, and I heard her start talking about me. I had to stay in the car until she finished up, but she told good lies. She said I was a good student, so I appreciate her lying for me. But, no, Miss DeGeneres just it was funny. Last year, Josh and I were laughing. We had some poor grammar at one point, and we were talking about and discussing it, and I wanted to blame Miss DeGeneres, but it really wasn't her fault because she had a student teacher my senior year, and the student teacher's fault. It wasn't Miss DeGeneres' fault. And she knew it because she texted. I know she was listening. She's a loyal listener because she started texting me afterwards that, she was paying attention. I better not be talking bad about her on the air.
Mitch, thank you so much. Appreciate your paying tribute to Coach Nettles.
All right, John.
It'll be Josh and Mitch when we return as Sporting Center Jacket warm-up continues after this pause on Yellow Jackets football.
Center Jackets warm up. It is the Jamboree 2023 as the Yellow Jackets will host the Walker Wildcats. I'm Josh Ward, now joined by broadcast partner Mitch Covington. Mitch, great to have you with us. I know you were just on there with John, so you had to do that. There's no extra pay for that hardship you just had to go through there.
He swore he was giving me a bonus for the pregame interview.
He did. Well.
I'm you telling me different now though.
Well,
so should have got that in writing.
You should have. Mitch, I'm on the way here earlier today and driving towards the stadium, and you start thinking about last season, you start thinking about this season, and so many memories from last season that were just so, after you've had that time to reflect on it and what you think about it, I got chill bumps thinking about us in the Benton game again. It's just like you think about those things, and you're reminded of it, and it's just, you realize just how special it is in the moment. But then you realize that time marches on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new season, new teams here, and you're in a jamboree like this. You've been on a high school level of these games. When you go into this, what are you trying to get out of it?
Well, it's the first real chance you get to get the coaches off the field, to get out there under the lights with the referees, and it's your last dry run before the regular season starts. They do have a scrimmage game. We scrimmaged Woodlawn last week. However, the coaches are standing back there behind the huddles, and it's still more of a practice setting, but this is pretty much game-like. It's only half a game, but as a coaching staff, what you want to see from your guys when you get out there, you want to see that we can, get the mechanics of it from the team running from the sideline on first down after a change of possession, getting out on the field, getting lined up, getting a playoff without, a delay of game. Same thing, kind of throughout the time of the possession. Can you, beat that play clock? That 40 seconds is ticking. Like I said, in a scrimmage game, coaches are out there on the sideline, and it's really not, the referees are there, and they're working on that, but sometimes you're not as fine-tuned on a lot of that stuff. So this is a good dry run. The colleges don't get it. The pros get it because they got the preseason, but the colleges don't get a jamboree like this. But it's great for high school guys to get out here. As you mentioned, it's a new leaf, a new season, and there's a whole lot of new Yellow Jackets going to be out there. A whole lot of young men getting their first experience playing, like I said, on a Friday night. You play the scrimmage on Thursday afternoon. Well, this is a Friday night. The lights are on. The stadium is filling up. There's a lot of people on our side. There's a lot of people on the Walker side, and it's just going to be interesting to see how they react to that. You got sophomores or juniors that last year were just play JV, and now they're out there on the varsity field. Or maybe there's a senior that's been waiting his 3 years. Maybe he was just a bit player. I mentioned some special teams earlier in the last segment, and maybe he was on kickoff coverage, but now that guy's got to be, hey, he's the starting Mike linebacker, and he's got to make all the calls and get everybody lined up, and how they're going to handle that. So it's a great trial run, and coaches are always excited about this. And at the end of the day, win or lose, it's not the end of the world, but what you want to see is which guys you can kind of count on. Coaches still have one more time here a little bit they're probably going to try some things out. They'll go try a couple of kids that we still believe in this kid. We think he can get it done, but there may be somebody that doesn't quite execute as well as they want, and then the next week they may have to make one more adjustment as the regular season starts. But so the coaches it's an important time of the year for those guys.
Well, you mentioned the scrimmage last week on Thursday here against Woodlawn. I think Coach Beard summed it up. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. We were out there against someone other than ourselves, which is what he wanted out of that. And you had mentioned it there in your dialogue that, how college doesn't have a jamboree or a scrimmage or any of that kind of stuff. NFL has a preseason, which is really just people trying to make a team. You said that you like the jamboree format. And, I asked myself, like, what do you really get out of this? And I think what you really do get out of it is solidifying where some of your players are going to be. Like, this is your last tryout on this varsity team to figure out if you're going to be the number one guy or the number two guy.
Exactly. There's a lot of guys that at this time of the season, coaches are trying to, we think this guy can do it. We think this one can do it. In the back of your mind, like, for example, let's just use Denham, for example, right now. We got Deshaun McBride and Mason Varese. We know they're starting on defense. They're 3-year starters. They're all-stars for our team. McBride, all-state, maybe all-American type consideration coming up this year. But we know they're going to start on defense. But, hey, we may need them on offense at times to play some receiver. You saw at the very end of last year in the playoffs, maybe the Dutchtown game, I think they got in a little bit too, that when we needed it, they jumped over on the offensive side. Well, right now, we want to see other guys play offense. We want to see some of these young receivers or some of these kids that weren't in the lineup last year. Can they go out and run the routes and catch the pass? Can they go and make their blocks when they need to? We want to see those guys do it, and if they can get it done, that's great for the whole team. But if it's not showing as we need to, maybe as you get closer to district, okay, some of you guys, Varese and McBride, y'all may have to play some offense as well as playing defense. But another thing I left out a while ago, but it's very important, in the scrimmage game, you really don't have much special teams. They might line up for an extra point, but nobody rushes. It's pretty much just a dry run. Well, this is live special teams tonight. The special teams really get a good look. You get your kickoff teams, your kickoff coverages, your field goals or extra points if you need those. Maybe some punts. You'd love not to punt, but you might. If you get a punt, that's good. You get to work on it out here in a live setting. So a lot of things to learn from tonight.
All right, we will take a timeout. When we come back, Mitch will be getting ready for kickoff here at Jamboree Action 2023. It is the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, and we are back after this. In the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, Yellow Jackets and the Walker Wildcats Jamboree 2023 to get this season kicked off. Next week it will be the Yellow Jackets and the Mandeville Skippers right here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. We will be right here at 6 o'clock with the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up for you to get you going. And Mitch, as well-traveled as we were last year, this year we may be the least traveled team in the state.
Hey, it pays off. Last year we were the Road Warriors, and we did not have the stadium ready to play, so every game was on the road. And, well, it's a 2-year contract in high school athletics. You make a contract with other teams. We'll go to you this year. You come to us next year. Most time you try to balance that out. But since we had to go on the road most of last year, what are we looking at? We got the Jamboree plus 7 regular season home games, so 8 of the 11 games, when you count the Jamboree, are at home this year.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the freshman and JV games were all on the road last year, so every freshman and JV game are at home this year. So a lot of games being played here on old Denham's northern border.
That's right. We will not go on the road until October 13th, and it'll be at Santa Ma, I believe. It's at Santa Ma, at Dutchtown, at Walker is the away schedule this year. Everything else will be right here from the sweet confines of Yellow Jacket Stadium. And, of course, we'll be here with you every 6 o'clock for the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, and that will do it for this edition of the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up, brought to you by Sporting Center, proudly serving Livingston Parish since 1977. At Sporting Center, they have everything you need from athletic equipment to school uniforms. So go see Stacy Phipps and James Adam McCants and their terrific staff over at Sporting Center. That is 205 South Range Avenue in Denham Springs. All right, Mitch, we just do want to mention, as we are here at the Jamboree, freshmen and JV have played previous to this. Freshmen will win 8-0 over Walker, and JV 8-6 over Walker.
Definitely, and a couple of former Denham Springs Junior High Yellow Jackets. Give a little shout out here. I believe Trey Seals caught a touchdown pass in the opening game, and then Bryant Coleman had a rushing touchdown with a 2-point conversion there. That there was a deciding difference in the JV game, run in by DeJohn Goldman. So a couple of former Denham Yellow Jackets for my junior high team. So I'm proud to see those guys.
See our captains here for tonight. Seth Bishop, one of them, and Kai, your boy. Dorian.
Kai Dwyron. Dwyron, that's right. So now Seth is one of the in fact, he's one of the few. He and Jerry Horn got action last year on the offensive side of the football. Pretty much everybody else were seniors, and a lot of new faces you're going to see. Now, Kai is a defensive player, and Kai got action at outside linebacker last year, so he's a returning player with some experience. So good to see those guys as captains out there for the Jamboree, and going to lead those guys with some of their experience that they have. Like I said, not a lot of experience on the offensive side, so we're counting on guys like Seth Bishop, who has a cast on his hand, but he's fighting it out and going to play anyway.
All right, Walker wins the toss. They will choose to receive the ball, so they'll get it first here to start off. When we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff here from Yellow Jacket Stadium, Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. Yellow Jackets football, it will be. Kickoff coming up here now. National anthem wrapping up here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington and as we get ready to kick this off, Mitch, it looks like we're going to get to see this defense, which is the strong point, we believe, of this Yellow Jackets team this year. Obviously, offense lost a lot of firepower last year. A lot of people to replace on that team that was so good last year. But we'll get to see this Jackets defense, which we expect to be a strong point for them. And from that point on, we'll kind of see how this offense evolves under a new offensive coordinator this year.
Yeah, even last year with a star-studded offense, the philosophy of our team and Coach Beard, the way he builds his program is he wants to be a defense-first team. He wants to be great on defense. He wants to have the offense that's able to kind of wear teams down and work the ball and not make a lot of silly mistakes. And by the time you get to late in the first half, you're starting to wear them out and pop off big runs. And so even last year, we kind of relied on the defense. Well, this year, that's going to be magnified because we, as I mentioned a while ago, we lost a ton of seniors off of that offensive football side last year from last year's team. So our defense does have several returning players and several star-studded returning players on the defensive side. And so we're going to count on them this season to help kind of steady the ship until the offense can kind of find its legs and get going.
It'll be Sam Hernandez to kick it off for the Yellow Jackets. Ball is teed up at the 40-yard line, and we are ready to get this jamboree underway here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. It is Hernandez. He will step up. Here is the kick. Nice end over end. It will be fielded at the 2-yard line. Then we'll go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback because once it goes into the end zone, it becomes a touchback, and we'll go to the 20-yard line. So we'll see this Yellow Jackets defense come out onto the field. We'll see Walker's offense for the first time here tonight as well, and we're underway, Mitch.
Here we go. And like I said, this Jacket defense, of course, we're going to, expect guys like Deshaun McBride, the LSU signee and the guy who set the regular season record for interceptions in a season last year back there at safety. Mason Varese at cornerback, a 3-year starter that teams last year just flat out wouldn't even throw his way. We need him to be locked down again and see what those other guys can step up and stop the run game.
It'll be Troy Silv at quarterback for the Wildcats. There is the snap. It'll be a handoff, and it's going to be into the backfield for about a 3-yard gain on the carry. Who'd you have on that number there?
First hit there, Elijah Butler, and that's a name we called out a little bit last year. Elijah Butler, one of the defensive linemen, defensive tackle, defensive end. We play a 3-man front defensively, and so he's a defensive end there for the Jackets and did a good job of making the hit, the line of scrimmage. They spun forward for a couple of yards there, but a good stop by Butler.
It was Clyde McClendon on the carry for the Wildcats. It'll be second down, and there is a pass from Silv. Silv will get it into the inside, caught at the 25 and up to the 30-yard line on the reception. I believe that was 80.
Yeah.
Is 1 second here. Just trying to get these numbers here for y'all as we are getting them as well. Caden Jones on the reception.
Yes, and then another tackle there. Quick little screen out to the receiver for Walker, but then hustling down there. Once again, Elijah Butler running down to the outside now from his defensive end position, running out there to hustle help on the pass game and make the tackle after a short throw.
Picks up the first down, 1st and 10. Wildcats from their own 31-yard line. It will be Silv out of the shotgun. Here's a snap. It's a low snap. He picks it up, gets it to McClendon, who goes up the middle, gets across the 35. It'll be tackled about the 37-yard line.
And as I mentioned before, we do have some returning players on defense. And Rancher Miller, one of your safeties, was a starter last year as a sophomore. Here he is as a junior, stepped up from his safety position, made the tackle, which was a good tackle by Miller. However, that was a 7 or 8 yard run, about 7-yard run for Walker. We'd love to get it stopped before it gets to the safeties.
And it will be 2nd and 3, 38-yard line for Walker. Here is a pass from Silv. He will get it into the flat to Evans. Evans will get across the 40. Be tackled at his own 42-yard line. That should be just enough to move the sticks for the Wildcats.
Another quick screen out to the near side, to the Jacket sideline just then by the Walker Wildcats. Rancher Miller got there quickly, only about a 3-yard gain. However, with it being 2nd and 3, they only needed 3 yards. So Wildcats setting up 1st and 10 again, this time at the Jacket 42-yard line. Still the Walker 42-yard line.
2 12-minute halves here for this jamboree here tonight. We are 10:03 left in the first half. Here is a fake handoff, and then a handoff to McClendon in the backfield, goes right up the middle across the 45 and will be tackled at the at the Walker 49-yard line.
All right, so Walker right now finding some good running room on the inside. Deshaun McBride came up to make the tackle, but Deshaun McBride is safety. And as I mentioned about Rancher Miller earlier, if your safety's making the tackle in the run game, that's going to be a 6 or 7 yard run. And Walker has found a little room off the right side of their offensive line and had got a couple good, solid, 6, 7 yard runs when they've chose to do so.
Will be 2nd down and 4 for the Wildcats. Ball at their own 49-yard line. It will be Silv out of the shotgun. Here is a snap. Will hand it off. It'll be an end-around attempt with Jones, and Jones will get across midfield to the Denham Springs 49-yard line. So picks up a couple there, and brings up 3rd and short now for the Wildcats.
Good job by Trevor Lewis, senior inside linebacker. Trevor Lewis was one of those guys that was a JV linebacker last year, played some on the special teams, but now he's expected to step up into a more important role, and good job of making a good stop on the running play, chase him down their little counter. He was able to get there and stop it before the first down.
Will be 3rd and short. Denham Springs 49-yard line now. Still from the shotgun yet again. Will hand it off in the backfield to Jones. Jones will go forward. He'll be hit. He'll be brought back, but we'll see where they give him his forward progression. It looks like they're going to give his forward progression enough for the first down.
But a big-time hit by Deshaun McBride. He came up, inching up closer and closer to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and short. He got up in there close, but they were able to get just enough for a first down. But a big hit. Not only did he make the hit, but he drove the guy a good 6-7 yards back as he made the tackle. But the forward progress probably did have him across the yard that they needed to gain. So first down as they did cross midfield now for Walker.
Will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They now play it at the Denham Springs 47-yard line. As it will be Sill from the shotgun yet again. Will hand it off in the backfield to McClendon. Goes up the middle, gets across the 45. He tackled just shy of the Denham Springs 40 to the Yellow Jacket 41.
And Lewis and Miller again there with tackles that time, double teaming, but a little bit concerning for the Jackets. They've got some running room for Walker on the inside. We're not getting to him until about 5 yards downfield.
Here's a quick a quick snap to Silv. Silv will hand it off again across the 40-yard line to the Denham Springs 38. And right about the first down marker, we'll see if it will be enough. It was McClendon again on the carry. And 7:35 left here in this first half of Jamboree action, and it is scoreless. But Walker, as you said, has really just been marching down the field, kind of doing what they want.
Yeah, they get, like I said, on the running plays, they're getting about 5 or 6 a carry right now. The safeties of Miller and Deshaun McBride are playing great, but, they're going to be making tackles 6-7 yards downfield. We need somebody up in the front 7 to step up.
3rd and short from the Denham Springs 38. Sill will get the handoff. We'll hand it off in the backfield to McClendon. McClendon will get to about the Denham Springs 36, but will be enough to be another Walker Wildcat first down.
Yeah, not a big hole there that time. That's a little bit more what we're looking for. Jonas Clark from his outside linebacker position stepped up near the line of scrimmage, made a hit. The Walker runner was able to fall forward to get the first down. Wasn't a big hole like they've had on a couple other plays, so maybe the defense is going to kind of tighten it up just a little bit here as they've crossed midfield.
It is 6:50 left here in this first half. It is 1st and 10 for the Walker Wildcats from the Denham Springs 36-yard line. Troy Silv will work it from the shotgun yet again, sends a man in motion. Will hand it off to his man in motion coming around. That is Jones, and Jones will get to the 30-yard line. And it looks like Mitch was wanting a hold call there. Not sure
Didn't
if he
get
got
it. Yeah, no yellow hankies on the ground. I was begging for one, I guess, but I thought Jonas Clark had done a good job of stepping up on the edge and kind of had it set, and I thought they had reached around and grabbed him, but refs disagree with me. It's the first time. It won't be the last time this year they disagree with me, but so no holding penalty there. Walker picks up another, once again on first down, another run picking up 8 yards.
Yeah, it seems like they're just getting that first push off the line there, which is, as you said, a little concerning here, but we are still early in this Jamboree. Here is a low snap to Silv, and it looks like they will stop the clock there. Was it there's a flag on the play?
Like they pointed our way. So now in high school, that's one of the big differences when you watch college or the pros. In high school, and offsides on the defense, once a center has their hands on the ball, they blow it dead. You don't get the free play. A lot of the college and pro guys, they know the defense jump. They're going to try and throw a deep ball down the field, take a chance, but they blow it dead automatically, and that's what happened right there. They were blowing the dead right as the ball was snapped. Someone on the Yellow Jacket front 7 had lined up in the neutral zone, so offsides on the Jackets.
And it is now time for our first water break timeout, and
it's
it
not
is
water
time
break
for,
yet. Not water break.
Yeah,
you got it. I'm sorry, my fault.
Just stay in your lane over there. It's time for the Water Tree of Denham Springs hydration break. Water from the Water Tree may help you feel better, look better, and live longer.
It's going to make you look better. Even John Fine?
Not even John Fine, because this is not Miracle Water, the Water Tree at Railroad in the heart of Denham Springs. It is the Water Tree of Denham Springs. Water break timeout. We are back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Yes. Stay in my lane. Definite water break. My bad.
All of Denham Springs full shirts, caps, clothing, and fan gear. Plus, Sporting Center has all of your brand names. And Ross Athletic.
This is the screen.
Sporting Center up.
Oh, give me 2 here, please. 2.
Okay.
We need it off. The glare will mess the camera.
Sporting Center.
I do not know that.
49 FM, you know.
Don't know.
Sometimes brought to you in part by You Safe and Lock, our shelter insurance, La Casa Casino. Look at Zachary's board clips, Buddy's
5 seconds.
and Safe Voyage Tattoos.
3, 2, 1, go.
That will do it for the Water Tree of Denham Springs hydration break. While we were coming back from that, it was a handoff from Silv to McClendon. McClendon off to the right side, gets to the Denham Springs 17-yard line. Will be second down and 3 now.
Yeah, big running back right there for Walker, number 22, Clyde McClendon, a junior running back, ran through a couple tackles there. We were hit with a line of scrimmage, but he broke it free.
Here's another handoff in the backfield to McClendon. McClendon will spin around to the 15-yard line. If that is where they spot him, it will be just enough for the first down.
McClendon is a good-looking runner. Like I said, he was hitting the backfield and spun around that time. On the first one, he broke one tackle. The 2 other guys fell at his feet, and he hopped through those and picked up 6-7 yards, and just then he spun just short of the first down, looking at 3rd and 1 here, about half a yard with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left, and Walker sitting on the jacket 15-yard line.
It is 3rd and short. He was just shy of the first down marker, so it will be Silv from the shotgun formation again. Here is a snap. He will get it. We'll hand it off in the backfield to Jones. Jones will pick up the first down and more as he gets to about the Yellow Jacket 6-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you will think of the Jamboree a little bit. Sometimes you stay a little bit more basic defensively, and we hadn't done a whole lot of shifting around yet.
Be a quick 1st and goal handoff to Jones in the backfield from Silv, and he will get across the 5-yard line to the Yellow Jacket 3, where it will be second down and goal.
Yeah, that's just my point kind of being that the Jacket,
Kick is up. Through the uprights, extra point is good, and the Wildcats are on the board. Yellow Jackets will be on offense after this. They lead at 7-0, and we're back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Ball slider.
Yellow Jackets football, it is 3:47 left here in this first half of this Jamboree. Walker marches down the field, takes up a lot of clock in this 12-minute half, 3:47 left, and they lead at 7-0. It is going to be Sam Ponce kicking it off again. Now here for the Wildcats, and that ball will go into the end zone for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. All right, so Jerry Horn, who has stepped in at the quarterback role for the Yellow Jackets since he was a freshman, now as a junior, is the guy.
It's a lot different this year than it has been in the past because he's pretty much known since last season ended that this was his team and this was his offense. It was his time to take over his freshman year. He had to, got rushed into duty when Reese Mooney got hurt. Last year there was a quarterback battle back and forth. Well, this year this is Jerry's offense and new offense that we spoke about earlier. New offensive coordinator Kyle Caskey is the offensive coordinator. Recently coaching in the NFL, Coach Beer was able to pluck him out and get him to coach our offense here. Unfortunately for Coach Caskey, we're going to really put him to work here because there's a lot of new faces I mentioned before. Jerry Horn and Seth Bishop, about the only two names that you have heard on the broadcast before. And so these guys are going to have a chance to step up and show what they can do.
Some of the guys that will be stepping in the backfield for the Yellow Jackets, you know who they are. What are some of those names you expect to see here?
Well, right there, line up there, running back Hudson Byers, running back for the Jackets. So obviously going to, get a lot. R.J. Johnson, one of the senior running backs. Expect to see him at some point. I'm not sure if he's working in this game or being held out, but he's one we do expect to see as the season goes along.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Their own 20-yard line. Horn from the shotgun will hand it off in the backfield to Byers, who is wrapped up immediately for a loss on the play. That'll push him back about 5 yards. Yellow Jackets, obviously, offense out for the first time here. Seen a lot of these new names that you mentioned here, but probably not the way you want to start off with your first
going to need
snap.
a little bit better gelling with the offensive line than allowing someone to just shoot a gap pretty much right there off the bat and hit the backfield right as he got the handoff.
It is Jerry Horn from the shotgun. Going to be 2nd and 14 now from their own 16-yard line. It'll be a fake handoff. We'll throw it into the flat and hit immediately back about the 16-yard line. On the reception for the Yellow Jackets was Tylen Hayes.
Tylen Hayes, a junior receiver, a little quick screen out there on the outside, trying to get it to him quickly, try and find a few yards upfield. Walker's defense converged pretty quickly, and so, very good start for the Wildcats if you're looking right here. They march right downfield and score, and then the Jackets come out in the first play, get hit in the backfield for a loss, now facing a 3rd and long.
Will be 3rd down and 13 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 17-yard line as Jerry Horn will work it from the shotgun. Again, he's got 3 receivers out to the far side of the field. Here is the snap. He looks to throw, steps up in the pocket, still looking to throw. Flag on the play. Now he goes on the run. He's at the 20, 25, 30. We brought down just shy of the Yellow Jackets' 35-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, so we will have to see what this one's about.
Looking to be in a tough spot that they may call holding, and that is the indication, going to be holding on the Jackets. Horn had done a really good job as the pressure came around the outside, stepped up in the pocket and saw the linebackers had dropped deep and took off and had enough yards for the 1st down. He would have converted on that, but the holding penalty is going to back the Jackets up even farther. So from the 15-yard line there, it looks like we're going to mark it off from. They may end up with the ball about the 7 or 8-yard line when it's all said and done.
2:28 left here in this opening half. We are playing 2 12-minute halves here of the Jamboree, so they'll have, about a 10, 12-minute halftime, Mitch, and then we'll get back.
Your normal 15 to 20-minute halftime. But, you want to be able to get your both squads, offense and defense, out on the field, running a lot of plays, getting a lot of good work. And right now, the way this is setting up, if we don't convert this 1st down, we may end up the first half with only 3 offensive plays, and that wouldn't be very advantageous for what we're looking for.
It will be 3rd down and long now for the Yellow Jackets. Ball is back at the 9-yard line for this one. 3rd and 21, officially the yardage. It will be Jerry Horn working it from the shotgun. Here is the snap as he drops back. Looks to throw, throws it downfield. Middle of the field, it is in the air still as it went off of Bishop's foot. He went to catch it. Looks like he went down to the ground. It flew off of his foot and was possibly up for interception. Luckily, it was not, but that will send out the punt team here for the Yellow Jackets.
Reminiscent, going way back in the day, Nebraska, I believe, won a national title in the 90s. They called it a touchdown pass when it bounced off a receiver's chest. He was falling down. He kicked the ball up in the air, and someone caught it behind him. That almost happened here again. Bishop, it was a good throw by Horn. Bishop coming across the middle, and he would have been close to a 1st down had he called it. He wasn't able to corral it, and then the ball bounced up in the air and kind of fell harmlessly to the ground after that.
It'll be Deshaun McBride to punt it away for the Yellow Jackets on 4th and 21 from their own 9-yard line. 2:20 left here in this first half. It is 7-0 Wildcats with the lead. Here's the snap. It is a high snap over McBride's head, and that will be a safety.
And as we mentioned before the game, the special teams getting their first real look of the season. So our first punt, we're going to snap one over the head of the punter, and it goes out the back of the end zone for a safety.
All right, so it will be Walker 9, Denham Springs 0, 2:20 left in this first half. We are back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Go ahead.
And Yellow Jackets,
ahead.
welcome back in. Yellow Jackets football. It is 9-0. Walker Wildcats with the lead. It is Jonathan Bravo to kick it off for the Yellow Jackets. He will kick it off from the 20-yard line after the safety there, after the snap over McBride's head. It is going to be fielded by the Wildcats at the 30-yard line. It is going to be Evans on the return. He gets to the 45, the cross midfield to about the Denham Springs 45-yard line before he is brought down. It will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, and they will have great starting position here to start this drive with 2:10 left in the half.
Bravo with good distance on the kick. However, pretty much a low line drive that the returner was able to get ahead of steam going before he could get to the Jacket coverage team. So across midfield, Jackets really want to make a stand right here, 9-0 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left before the half. Want to make some adjustments over here on the sideline and see if we can keep Walker off the board before halftime, knowing that we're going to get the ball to start the second half.
It will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They will play it from the Yellow Jacket 45-yard line. It'll be Troy Silv out of the shotgun. McClendon lined up to his right as he will get the snap. He will hand it off to McClendon. McClendon now coming to the left side will get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain.
And there's the most successful defensive play for the Jackets tonight, so that's a good start. The running room that was so prevalent earlier wasn't there that time. Good job by the Jacket defense.
Coming up for the Small Sliders halftime report, it'll be John Fine, joined by former Denham Springs baseball coach, administrator, and probably anything else you can imagine. Steve Long will be joining us, so we'll be looking forward to that. It'll be a long pass down the field for the Wildcats. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Wildcats.
Little play action pass right there. They were able to play action, got the Jackets to step up, and then junior receiver Asia Rutherford was able to catch it by Rancher Miller, who had to step on him and streaking down the middle of the field, and a nice pickup for the Wildcats.
Will be 1st and 10. It'll be at the Yellow Jacket 18-yard line for the Wildcats. It'll be 1:12 left here. They lead at 9-0 over the Yellow Jackets as they will kind of let the clock run down here.
It shouldn't have been running. That's Coach Mahaffey's over there arguing with the referee. I see what he was talking about. That clock kind of kept running after the 1st down. I know college football, believe, is going to that, but
I believe they are. But
high school, we don't have those rules. They actually went ahead and called a timeout. But
yes, we do
that
have a
clock
timeout.
ran a little bit extra time off than good for the Jackets, but I could see why Coach Mahaffey was upset.
9-0, Walker with the lead. 1 minute left here in this first half. We're back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Yeah, go.
Welcome back in, Yellow Jackets football. It is 9-0. Walker with the lead. Jamboree action here. I'll use a little baseball analogy here. We're going to have a little change-up coming in at halftime. Coach Steve Long, who is here with us, has got a little laryngitis here this evening and won't be able to come on and speak on the radio. Obviously, that would be a hard thing to do. So I think Coach Wax looks like he is in the building, and he may join us to share some of those good stories about Coach Long.
Calling in a pinch hitter, right?
That's right,
Another
pinch
baseball
hitter,
term right there. So.
All right, so it will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They will have it at the Yellow Jacket 22-yard line with 1 minute left here in this first half action of the Jamboree.
They did put a little bit of time back on the clock. Coach Mahaffey was asked about that earlier, so now it's back to 1:12. But they will have one timeout left once they get started here.
It'll be Silv looking for the ball out of the shotgun. Will get the snap. Will fake the handoff. Will keep it himself, and he'll be wrapped up at the 21-yard line. Picks up about a yard, but good defensive play there, kind of swarming to the ball as he was handed as the quarterback keeper for Silv.
Yes, good job by the inside linebacker right there for the Yellow Jackets, Trevor Lewis, once again. Trevor Lewis was able to get in the backfield, one of the defensive linemen on feet. Trevor Lewis getting up there on top of him for no gain.
Under a minute left here in this first half. It is 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats. Silv gets it out of the shotgun, looks to throw, pumps it, then will throw it, delivers. Looks like it is going to be completed pass. Looks like that is to Evans, and it will be 3rd down for the Wildcats as Evans will get to the Yellow Jacket 16-yard line.
Let's see. They got the clock stopped. Something's happening here.
I want to
false start. There we go. All right. I was pointing and I didn't see this when it was thrown, but yeah, they had a false start for Walker there, so that's going to be no play. We're going to be moving Walker back 5 yards right there, but pretty good job by the Jacket defense as a good run stop on 1st down, a short pass there on 2nd down with a tackle made right as the guy completed the ball. That'd have been good to keep the clock running here right before half if it was needed. However, it's going to be a illegal procedure for Walker, and we'll see if Denham's going to take the penalty or they do have the opportunity to take the result of the play.
Any clock or scoreboard issue this week, send your complaints to David Guidry. Talked to David down the hall just a little while ago. He's back learning the new systems here at the Yellow Jacket Stadium. You know, they got the new scoreboard in here at the video board at the end of the stadium here, so it's looking nice. But he's trying to figure out that as we are trying to figure out some things here ourselves. Well, we'll be 2nd down and 14 now, Wildcats. It'll be Silv out of the shotgun, hands it off to McClendon, who will work it up the middle, gets to the 20-yard line, will be tackled shy of the Denham Springs 15. Looks like they'll put him down about the 17.
Little draw action right there for the Wildcats. Looked like it was going to be a sprint out to the right, hand it back to McClendon, who cut back through the middle of the line. Jonas Clark doing a good job of tackling him after about a 7-8 yard gain. Going to bring up 3rd and 6 as we come back after the timeout.
Will be a timeout here. 28 seconds left here in the half. We're back after this on Yellow Jackets football. Jackets football just back to the action on 3rd down. Silv drops back, throws it, and it is incomplete at the 5-yard line of Denham Springs. McBride went up for that one. So Walker not throwing the ball a lot here so far tonight, so you haven't really got to see what Deshaun McBride can do because they haven't gone after him yet.
Well, most teams are going to try and keep it away from him. They're going to keep away from 6 and 7 on the Jacket defense over there. But that was a good job on the coverage on the inside slant. McBride right there. The throw was a little bit too high. Jackets held up pretty well to keep him out the end zone. Now Walker's going to try and attempt a field goal.
Well, a 35-yarder. It will be Ponce to attempt it. Here is the snap. It is going to be blocked now. Walker's going to pick it up and throw it, and it will be stopped, and the field goal attempt will be no good as the Yellow Jackets were all over that. And coming off the edge for Denham Springs, Mason Varese, a name we will hear a lot this season as well, with a great block right there with 18 seconds left here in this first half.
Yeah, that looked like some little slight bobble as they tried to put the ball on the tee, and then Varese was in there so fast, Walker had to just kind of pull it and try and a little fire call to send some guys out in desperation mode. Jackets were in a good spot there. They did complete the pass, but right at the line of scrimmage, and it hit as soon as it was made. So as we mentioned before, special teams, your first time in some live action, you can see some hiccups, one from the Jackets here, and then now that time right there by the Walker Wildcats.
And, you know, Coach Beard, as much of a defensive guy as he is, he's got a little Frank Beamer in him. Loves those special teams. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, their own 18-yard line. Horn will work it from the shotgun. Here is the snap. He will look to throw. He fires it. It is going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was Seth Bishop at the 25-yard line.
Bishop was the inside receiver in a trip set, running a little stick route where he's going to get out there at about 5 or 6 yards, has the chance to pivot outside or back in based on where the defense was. Looked like Horn was kind of pointing after the play that maybe Horn thought he was going to sit in a spot, and he kind of broke out. A little miscommunication they're going to have to try and work out as the season goes along.
Does Seth Bishop have a cast on his hand?
He definitely does have a cast on his left arm, I believe.
2nd and 10. It will be Horn rolling it to his right, looking to throw, running out of real estate. Will now have to throw it out of bounds, and it will bring up a 3rd and 10 quickly. So I guess I asked that question. The passes that the Yellow Jackets have thrown so far is a guy that has, is it a club or a cast?
It's a soft, I say a soft cast. It's a regular cast. I believe there was a wrist issue, so that cast definitely goes across his forearm and probably at least toward the thumb on his hand. Horn had thrown a good pass on the first possession to him down the middle. Bishop wasn't able to catch it, and then here on the second drive, the first pass did go Bishop's way again. I do think it's interesting. I think in a regular season game, we probably wouldn't have come out passing right here with just 20 seconds left deep in our own end zone, but in Jamboree, we'll see what we can do, try and let the guys get out there and run some plays and execute what we've been working on.
All right, it'll be 3rd and 10, 5 seconds left here. It'll be Horn looking to throw. He fires it middle of the field, got his receiver at the 30-yard line now at the 35 on the reception. That is going to be Haynes, and it is a first down for the Yellow Jackets. And as time expires, it'll still be our first Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Family-owned, children-friendly, incredible food, and locally owned by Big Mike O'Neill. So as we do get to the half, it is Walker 9, Denham Springs 0. And that brings us to the Small Sliders halftime report, brought to you by Small Sliders, now open in Denham Springs. Perfect for tailgating. It is Small Sliders party packs of 25 sliders and a tray of fries. That is Small Slider Aspen Square in Denham Springs. When we return, John Fine will jump in and we will recap this first half action for you. We're back after this on the Small Sliders halftime report.
Small Sliders, now open in Denham Springs, perfect for tailgating. It's Small Sliders party packs of 25 sliders and trays of fries. Small Sliders, Aspen Square, Denham Springs. All Walker in the first half. John Fine at halftime on the Small Sliders halftime report as Walker scores on a 4-yard McClendon run with 3:47 left. 80-yard, 8 minutes and 13-second drive. Walker kicks the extra point, 7-0. One of the highlights for the Jackets was a blocked field goal attempt. Mason Voorhees blocking a 35-yard field goal attempt. Jackets complete a pass in the last play of the first half, but other than that, it was all Walker. We had hoped to get Steve Long, the former Jackets football coach, on at halftime. He's come down with laryngitis. We wish Coach Long the very best as we continue to pay tribute to Drew Nettles, and we have Mr. Butch Wax. We were going to get Butch next week on the program. We'll get him later on the air, but he has so graciously volunteered to step in for Coach Long. Coach Wax, how are you?
I'm doing fine, John. It's a little warm, but other than that, we're doing fine.
There you go. Well, first off, a tribute to that 1985 Denham Springs State Championship baseball team coached by Steve Long.
Amen, man. What a outstanding group of young players, and what an outstanding job of coaching by Coach Long and his staff that year. And just really, it's the only one Denham has ever had in baseball. And when you get one, you appreciate it a whole lot more than if you maybe have several of them, I think.
No
I'd
doubt.
like to have several. But
No doubt about that. Coach, talk about the freshman catcher for Denham Springs that year.
Well, Drew Nettles, I think was a real exception, for a kid to be that mature at that age and be able to catch not just any pitchers, but he had more than one. But he had one in particular, Ben McDonald, who was the best pitcher not only in the state of Louisiana, but probably in the nation. And for him to be able to sit back there as a freshman and catch him the way he did is just a tribute to that young man and the job that he did. And certainly everybody appreciates what he did and what he accomplished. But he's one of a kind that you don't see very often.
What was it like coaching Drew Nettles when Nettles was a football player?
Well, Drew was an outstanding football player, and I think probably his football IQ and his baseball IQ as well, because, being behind the plate similar to being where he was on defense as well. But he was so smart, and his reaction time was so fast that he was really a guy that you could count on being in the right place at the right time. And then, of course, he could tackle as well. He was an outstanding tackler. He was a sure tackler. But he had interceptions because of that. And just the fact that he was so smart back there, it was a great tribute to him.
At what point did you say to yourself, hey, this guy's going to be a coach one day?
Well, he was a coach on the field the whole time he was here, I can tell you that. And not only that, but he was a great team player. He was also a coach, a young man that you didn't have to worry about him missing anything. He was going to look at and find the little things that he always was able to maybe pick up that would allow him to be able to do a better job than most normal people would be able to do.
All right, Coach Nettles, as the head football coach of the Jackets, talk about his tenure at Denham Springs High School.
Coach Nettles came in, and the program was down at that time, and he got it going in the right direction. He was the person instrumental in getting the first turf field here as well. Some people don't remember that. We got such a nice facility here now that we kind of forget about those things that happened in the past. And he spearheaded that and did a great job in getting the turf here and getting this building program starting. And he's, as a football coach, I think, was probably just like he was as a player, extremely knowledgeable, extremely able to break down another team's tendencies. And, of course, we have a lot of technology now, but at the same time, he was able to look at those things and be able to apply it defensively to be able to stop opponents when normally you wouldn't be able to, I think.
What makes Drew Nettles so special as a person?
He's just he's a sincere guy. I think Drew is he's the kind of kid you'd like to have as a kid. I mean, he's I call him a kid. He's definitely not a kid anymore. But he's a special young man. He's a kind of he is definitely a leader in his own way. He's not a flamboyant kind of a person, but he's the guy that everybody knows that's going to be prepared. He's going to always take care of his business, and he's always going to be competitive in everything that he does, whether it's coaching, football, coaching, or playing baseball, or coaching baseball. He's just an outstanding young man.
As Coach Nettles, as Drew Nettles gets inducted into Denham Springs Athletic Hall of Fame, again, this Thursday night, 6:30, at Forest Grove Plantation. Tickets still available until Monday afternoon at Denham Springs High School. And, Coach, it's sort of a bittersweet deal for Coach Nettles in that his father, who was such a big part of his life, Richard Nettles, passed away last week.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and we'd all offer our sympathy to Drew and his family and everyone that's associated with him. It's a difficult time, no matter when or where it happens, and certainly our prayers are with Drew and his family. And he's going to be one of the outstanding inductees, along with 4 other individuals, and it will be a nice program. If you haven't gotten a ticket, they're still available, I think, Monday and Tuesday. And so if you have an opportunity, you'd like to see a nice program at Forest Grove, we'd love to have you.
Coach Wax, thanks so much for joining us, pinch hitting for Coach Long. And thanks for everything that you do for the Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Fame for Denham Springs High School. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me here. And next time I'll do the interviewing.
All right, there you go. That's Butch Wax, legendary Denham Springs High School Athletic Hall of Famer. My name is John Fine. It is the Small Sliders Halftime Report and been brought to you by our friends at Small Sliders. Now open in Denham Springs, perfect for tailgating. It's Small Sliders party packs of 25 sliders and trays of fries. Small Sliders, Aspen Square, Denham Springs. Second half kickoff coming your way after this pause on Yellow Jackets football.
Welcome you back in to Yellow Jackets football. It will be the Yellow Jackets receiving the ball to start this second half. It is Walker with the 9-0 advantage over the Yellow Jackets. And Josh Ward now joined alongside Mitch Covington again. And Mitch, as we will see this offense come back out onto the field, obviously not a lot of opportunities in that first half of this jamboree for the Yellow Jackets offense, but now they get to start the second half, and you kind of probably want to see them put a little something together.
Yeah, really only 1.5 possessions. The first possession you got, that's a real possession. Time wasn't an issue, and we went 3 and out. First play, missed a blocking assignment. A guy shoots right through into the backfield, a tackle for a loss, and really kind of stuttered to get the drive going after that. The second drive, we only had about 30 seconds left or so. We had the ball deep in our own territory. We ran a few plays, tried to get some passes out there. Like I said, maybe the normal spot you wouldn't do that, but in jamboree, let's try and get some plays out there and see what happened. Complete a pass right there the last play of the half, a nice little 15-yard pickup, and so hopefully that's a little bit of something to kind of get some confidence going for the offense as we start this second half.
All right, it will be Ponce to kick it off for the Wildcats. Here is the kick, end over end. It will be fielded by the Yellow Jackets. Well, it's on the ground now. It's going to be picked up at the 22-yard line. On the return was Brian Hawkins for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that kick was a little bit shorter, and that's one thing. You don't have a good scouting report on the special teams, and so you're not real sure how deep the ball is going to be kicked, and the Jackets were lined up at about the 5-yard line. That ball came down at about the 15, but a hard sprint for Hawkins to try and get to it and kind of came off his hands. He was able to corral it, so the Jackets retained possession, but not able to get much of a return.
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. They will have it at their own 22-yard line to start the second 12-minute half of this jamboree against the Walker Wildcats. 9-0 Walker with the advantage, and we'll see what the Yellow Jackets can get going on offense here as Jerry Horn will march out onto the field. He will work this one from the shotgun. He'll have 2 receivers to the near side, 1 out to the far. Pistol formation, sends a man in motion. That is Bishop. Bishop now lined up to Horn's left. It'll be a fake. Now a handoff in the backfield, and that is going to be going forward for about a 2-yard pickup. Who'd you have that on the carry there? Was that?
No, that's
Byers.
Yeah, that's Byers. Hudson Byers. Yeah, a little bit of an ISO play on the left side right there, trying to find some running room on the left side of the offensive line with Bishop leading blocker up front, taking that handoff Byers did, trying to get up through the middle. It's only a couple of yard gain with that.
Going to be 2nd down and 8. They're on 24-yard line now for Denham Springs. It will be Horn from the shotgun. Tight formation, waits for the snap, gets it, drops back, looks right, throws it. It is going to be incomplete at the 29-yard line. Intended receiver was LaBeouf, and it is 3rd down.
Yeah, junior receiver Colton LaBeouf caught a touchdown on the Jackets' first drive of the scrimmage recently that we had last week against Woodlawn, and had a nice little out route right there. Looked to be open. Horn just missed him just by about a step or two, a little bit to the outside. So the Jackets are now facing 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8, Yellow Jackets from their own 24-yard line. It is 9-0. Walker with the lead here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Horn with a shotgun formation will get the snap, drops back, will have to step in the pocket now. He will keep it himself. He gets across the 25, will be tackled shy of the 30-yard line. They're going to put him down just at the 27, and it's 4th down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Horn looked like I was watching the receivers make their break, and as soon as they made their break, I looked back to Horn, and he was kind of having to run by that point. I think the rush kind of got to him a little bit quicker than we needed. The Jackets were trying to get, 8 yards to go for the first down, running the routes out there, get past the sticks so that if we catch it, we have a first down. But the Walker Wildcat rush got to us a little bit too quickly.
It will be 4th down and 5 from their own 27-yard line now. It'll be Deshaun McBride in to punt it away for the Yellow Jackets. It is Evans back to receive for the Wildcats. Here is the snap. McBride gets it. He will get the punt off. A nice high sky punt. It'll be going out of bounds at the Walker 48-yard line. We'll see where they actually mark this one down, but it'll be around midfield, and Walker will have it there. 1st and 10, 10:26 left here in this half of jamboree action. Walker 9-0 over Yellow Jackets. We're back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Go.
First and 10 first and 10 for the Wildcats at the Yellow Jacket 49-yard line. It will be Silv from the shotgun. Gets a snap. He has to drop back. He has pressure coming. He's going to be sacked for a loss on the play. Big defensive rush right there by the Yellow Jackets.
Trevor Lewis. So we've called his name a few times here in the first half, and Walker went with a little shot play. They tried to have the ball first down and 10 right at midfield, about the 49-yard line. They had 3 routes going deep down the field. Jackets had pretty good coverage, and as I turned back to the quarterback, there was Trevor Lewis already with the quarterback wrapped up. Good start for the Jacket defense.
Second and 20 now for the Wildcats back at their own 39-yard line. It will be a handoff in the backfield that is going to be to McClendon. McClendon will not get far as he will get to the 40-yard line for a 1-yard gain.
Caden Davis, a nose guard, played a good bit last year for the Jacket on that defensive line. Did a very good job getting in the backfield, stopping the Walker Wildcat runner McClendon before he was able to even hardly get back to the line of scrimmage. So a good start for the Jacket defense on the first 2 plays here this half. So now third and a really long effort for the Wildcats.
All right, that'll be 3rd and 19 now for the Wildcats from their own 40-yard line. Here is Silv. Will roll. Will look to throw. He does. That is going to be incomplete. Intended receiver was Jones at midfield, and it is 4th down for the Wildcats.
Well, there's a big positive start for the Jacket defense. So that first half, Walker, the first drive of the game, was able to march down the field on them a little bit. The other points of the half came due to a safety off of a punt snap, so that really wasn't on the defense. And then here coming out the second half, when Walker takes the ball at midfield on first down, you really need a good stand, and that was an excellent defensive stand, a 3-and-out, in which we actually pushed them back an extra 9 yards.
All right, so it'll be 4th and long for the Wildcats now. It will be Preston Hill to punt it away for the Wildcats.
Varese is back deep.
Varese back deep. He stands about his own 27-yard line. Here is a snap. Hill will punt it away. It's a high punt, and it looks like the Yellow Jackets will let this one go to the turf, and it will roll to the 30-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, their own 30-yard line. 9:04 left here in this half of action, and we're back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Choose at demco.org. Go.
Welcome back in Yellow Jackets football. They trail Walker 9-0. While we were away, we had a play. Mitch catches up on that real quick.
Carson Burrell is in at quarterback in a little play-action pass, and he found Jonas Clark on a little bootleg action. Clark catches it and scampers up the field for about a 12, 13-yard play for the Jackets.
All right, so it was a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Makes it a Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill. Jackets first down. Check out the Denham Springs Sports Hall of Fame at Big Mike's. So as we get caught up here, it looks like the second team is kind of coming in here now, Mitch. Backfield looked a little different right there. Well, Byers is still in there, but who?
I just think it might just be Burrell's the only different one, and I think the coaches, I've heard, a lot of good talk about Carson Burrell, a senior. He's been around this program a while. Last year they talked very well about him, Coach Beard did, and I think they just want to give him some action here to see, what he can do here on Friday night.
All right, it'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Yellow Jackets. Their own 47-yard line. Burrell from the shotgun will pick the handoff, looks to throw, will throw it downfield. It's going to be intercepted by the Wildcats at midfield. He's now at the Denham Springs 45, 40, 35, still on his feet, going to the far side, still on his feet at the 30. Finally brought down around the 25-yard line. It is going to be a first down for the Wildcats after the interception. On the interception by the Wildcats was TJ Silvio, and it is first down Walker. We will take a possession timeout with 7:44 left here in this half. Back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Denham Springs.
Go.
Welcome back in. Yellow Jackets football, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Denham Springs 25-yard line. It'll be a handoff in the backfield to McClendon from Silv. He will get across the 15 and inside the 15-yard line. Looks like they'll have him down at the 14, and it will be a Walker Wildcat first down.
A little bit of old school football right there. Wishbone from the Walker Wildcats. McClendon at the fullback spot. Looked like a little inside veer action, and he was able to shoot through the line of scrimmage quickly, picking up 10 yards on the first down play, and, of course, moving the chains once again.
All right, so it will be Silv again on 1st and 10 now from the Yellow Jacket 14-yard line. He will go under center, will hand it off in the backfield again, and this time it is Jones on the carry as he gets inside the 5, and he gets to the 2-yard line where it will be 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Yeah, another wishbone play, and they're going quickly here, staying in the wishbone formation.
Staying in that formation, it will be Silv under center, hands it off to Jones again, and Jones will fight to the goal line and will get in for the touchdown.
Walker just right there said, we're getting a wishbone. We're coming right at you. Quick hitter with McClendon, then another little off-tackle play back-to-back right there to pick up the rest of the 15 yards they needed.
All right, so Wildcats get on the board again, and they lead at 15-0 now over the Yellow Jackets. They will come out to attempt the extra point with 7:16 left here in this second half action of the Jamboree against the Wildcats. It is going to be Smith to attempt the extra point. Here's a snap. Hold is down. Kick is up. And that one is going to be through the uprights, and it is going to be good. I said Smith. Correct me on that again. It is 92, not 42. And that would be, I want to get this right here, Sam Ponce. Sam Ponce, extra point is good. Walker leads at 16-0 over the Yellow Jackets. 7:16 left in the game, and we're back up to this on Yellow Jackets football. Yellow Jacket Football, Family Radio 91.9 FM, and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington. It is Walker 16, Denham Springs 0. Jamboree action here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Next week it will be the Mandeville Skippers coming into Yellow Jackets Stadium to officially start the 2023 season for the ones that count.
Yeah, I think this is an important drive for the Jackets. Hadn't a lot going right for us tonight, and so still plenty of time left in this half to try and get a good offensive drive going out there and build some positive momentum to take away from the night.
Here is the kickoff. Is going to be fielded by the Yellow Jackets at the 5-yard line. Gets to the 10, to the 15. That is going to be Hawkins on the return, and he will get right to the 15-yard line. We do have some flags on the play here, so we'll have to wait to see what that's about. Looks like there was a little bit of we'll call it aggression.
That's a little bit of frustration, I'm going to go ahead and say. I believe that's Jonas Clark is going to get caught for hitting a player pretty much after the tackle was made, and so we didn't get much of a return. The ball was able to angle away from the return guys and bounce around to about the 5. So as we get tackled at the 15, now we're going to back it up half the distance. So this drive, which I was hoping we could get some positive momentum going, is going to start at about our 8-yard line.
So the officials will figure this one out here, as it will be against the Yellow Jackets. It looks right. Oh, that's me.
There you go. Didn't hear you there for a second, but now I got you.
New stuff. New toys up here. All right, so after the penalty, it will be going to march this one back.
You said we're going to start about the 8-yard line. Little dead ball foul. Right as the guy was being tackled, we made a big block off the ball and got a flag for that. So late hit, and so Jackets starting back at their own 8-yard line.
1st and 10, Yellow Jackets from their own 8. It will be Horn back in now at quarterback. He will look to throw. He does. He has Bishop at the 10, and Bishop will be tackled about the 12-yard line. So we see Burrell come in for that series on the previous offensive possession, and now we have Horn back in.
And Jackets will go quick right here, try and get something, a little change of pace here, see if they can get moving quickly.
Second and about 5 now for the Yellow Jackets. It will be Horn from the shotgun. We'll hand it off in the backfield, and that is going to be about a yard gain by Byers, and that's going to be about it.
Yep, important down, I think, right here. 3rd and 3, it's a manageable down that maybe we can get this first down. We don't want to go 3 and out back in our own shadow of our end zone. Let's pick up a first down here.
On 3rd and 3 from their own 13-yard line, it will be a handoff in the backfield to Byers. Byers will go forward. He is right about the first down marker, but I think he may be just shy of it. Nope, we're going to give him the first down, and we will take it. It is a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Big Mike stays open late after Denham Springs High School football games. Check it out at Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. First and 10 Yellow Jackets quick again. It'll be Horn handing off to Byers. Byers will go up the middle and will get to the 24-yard line, 23-yard line. Check that. He'll get up to the 23, and it is second down.
All right, Jackets are going to go quick hurry up here, but can't hurry up past the water break as we've hit the 6-minute mark.
We do hit the water break, and it is the Water Tree of Denham Springs water break, and it is enjoying this 40-degree weather, Mitch.
40 degree. Where do you get 40 degree weather?
40 degrees Celsius.
I don't know anything about Celsius. How am I supposed to know that? I guess we need that to stay hydrated.
We do need to get hydrated at the Water Tree. That is Railroad Avenue, making that 40-degree temperature more tolerable. We're back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Yeah, I see. Go.
Welcome back, Yellow Jackets football. It is going to be second down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 23-yard line. Jerry Horn from the shotgun will get the snap, looks to throw. He does. He will get it to LaBeouf. LaBeouf has it at the 25 and will get to about the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for another Yellow Jackets first down. And waiting for it. Wait for it.
Oh, they didn't give it to us.
Come on. The last one wasn't a first down. And this one,
now they
there you go. Okay,
they gave it to us.
If we got the early one, that was definitely a first down. Which makes it another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. You can cater your next party at Big Mike's. Check out the Big Mike's catering menu.
R.J. Johnson in at tailback right now for the Jackets as he takes the carry.
He will get the handoff. He will get to the 30-yard line. We'll get up to about the Yellow Jacket 32, where it'll be second down.
Randall Johnson. Randall last year we saw a little bit as a spell, he's a third tailback last year. A lot of times in some power formation sets we saw him.
Yellow Jackets on 2nd and 7 now from the 32-yard line. It is going to be a timeout or delay of game for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see which one it is.
Well, we didn't quite get lined up in the formation we needed as one of our tight end was supposed to split out wide. He already had his hand down on the ground, and when he picked his hand up to go move and split out as a receiver position, that's a false start. He had his hand down, so he's set. You can't pick your hand up off the ground before it snapped.
So it is a false start penalty against the Yellow Jackets. That'll push them back 5, that'll make it second down and 12 now from their own 27-yard line. 5:01 left here in this half of action. 16-0, Walker with the lead. Horn from the shotgun will get the snap. He drops back, looks to throw, throws it downfield, and it is going to be caught by the Yellow Jackets at the Walker 40-yard line to the 35 on the reception. For the Yellow Jackets is Tylan Haynes, and it is a first down Yellow Jackets as they get into Walker territory for the first time tonight, I believe, Mitch. But
yes,
as the Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down, come book your personal private party in one of Big Mike's banquet rooms. Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. First and 10 Yellow Jackets. Walker 35-yard line. Horn from the shotgun. Looks to throw. Throws it downfield. Looking for Bishop at the 10. Incomplete. Second down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, we've hit a little bit
That was
four
fun.
verticals, maybe looked like on that last possession. You got Tylen Haynes running down the middle of the field. He was able to get past the safety. Good shot by Horn. Jerry Horn threw it nice, tight, not too high where the safety could get to it, but on a straight line, and was able to fit it in there to Tylen Haynes for a nice pickup for the Jackets. I know one that Big Mike would be proud of. He loves when we get the first down.
That's right. It will be 2nd and 10 now for the Yellow Jackets from the Walker 35-yard line. Horn will send a man in motion. That is LaBeouf. Here is the snap. Horn going to roll out. He is going to throw it now to Bishop at the 30 as pressure was coming. He had to get rid of that. With the pressure is TJ Silvio, linebacker for the Wildcats, and it is now 3rd and 10.
A little bootleg action right there. Play fake going up the right side. Horn rolling back to the left. Checked a little bit deeper route, and Walker kind of had that covered. And as he tried to check back down, right as he was there, a Walker defender was in his face and Jerry Horn's face, and it was hard to get the pass off. We did get it off, but couldn't be very accurate with it as he was getting hit right as he threw it.
All right, so now it is 3rd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Walker 35-yard line. Horn will work it from the shotgun yet again. Has Johnson in the backfield lined up to his left. Here is the snap. Horn drops back. Pressure is coming. Horn will step up in the pocket now. Now he rolls to his right. Still on his feet at the 35-yard line. Now he's at the 30. Will tiptoe out of bounds. We'll see. Tries to stay in bounds. We'll see how far he gets. Looks like they're going to put him about the the Walker 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the Walker 21-yard line, and that's another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. Jackets first down. Big Mike's has live music on the weekends, so go see him at Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill.
Yeah, very good job there by Jerry Horn as the Walker rush got to him a little bit, and he spun around and went to the right side and found a little bit of room. And I believe it's hard to see 86 or 88, but I'm pretty sure that was 86. Hunter Ryder, a senior tight end, that saw Horn scrambling, turned upfield, and picked up that big key block to help Horn get the first down.
Will be 1st and 10 now for the Yellow Jackets. It will be from the Walker 21-yard line. Horn will be from the shotgun. He will fake the handoff to Johnson. Will be wrapped up back at the 30-yard line for a sack and a loss on the play. Brings up 2nd and long now for the Yellow Jackets.
Jackets had a really good drive going. Remember, we started at our own 8-yard line. And a good drive, moving it back up there. First down at the Walker 22, but a sack on first down is going to make this challenging for us to get back and pick up the first down. But I'm thinking we got 4 downs to try and get a first down here, playing 2nd and about 16.
I think 2nd and 18 officially from the 29-yard line of Walker. Horn will drop back. He looks to throw, taking a shot towards the end zone, looking for McBride. It is incomplete. As we are seeing what we thought we might see this season is Mason Varese and Deshaun McBride on the offensive side of the ball. That shot there to the end zone was to McBride, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, both McBride and Varese snuck on the field right there at receiver position. Horn trying to get the go route out there to him. McBride didn't really have a chance to go get it. The ball was a little bit off the mark. If it had been a little bit closer to him, it would have been nice to see if we could come down with that jump ball. We know the ball skills that Deshaun McBride has. And so, good time to take a shot with it. I like the call. We had a one-on-one opportunity out there.
3rd down, 18 for the Yellow Jackets. Walker, 29-yard line. Horn from the shotgun will get the snap as he drops back, looking to his left. Now we'll throw it to the center of the field. Has Bishop at the 15-yard line. And it is a completion, but it is going to be short.
It came out at the end,
did it come
I think.
out
Yeah, it looked like he had a completion, and I saw the ball bounce around on the ground right at the end.
All right, I thought Bishop had it. You're right. It did pop out of the hands and brings up 4th down now for the Yellow Jackets. Look, it's jamboree action. You're down 16-0. It doesn't matter. At the end of the season, this isn't going to mean anything. So what do you do? 4th? I mean, you take a shot here. You try to move the chains again, right?
They're certainly going to do that. And then McBride and Varese have come back in, so this 4 wide receiver set's going to have a little bit more firepower. You've heard us call out Seth Bishop's name a lot as one of the main priority receivers. Well, he's more of a tight end position guy, so getting a few more skill guys out there on the field this time.
Going to be 4th down and 18 for the Yellow Jackets from the 29-yard line of Walker, and we have a
too many men on the field, maybe?
Too many men, something.
Oh, on us? They called. I couldn't tell if it was delay or illegal substitution, but it's back in the Jackets up 5 yards. I didn't see the play clock, but
I still don't see a flag anyway.
The referee at the back, he had it. And he's normally the one that throws delay, so it's possibly it came from him.
All right, so it'll be 4th and 23 now. Here is a snap. Horn will drop back. Looks to throw. He does. There's going to be caught at the 20, at the 15, and going to be tackled shy of the 15 on the reception. That is going to be Haynes for the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be a turnover on downs. But I like the play call. You had the receivers there, just good defensive play by Walker.
Yeah, Walker have guys all way back deep right there, of course, guarding the first down sticks at about the 10-yard line. Horn took a good shot, threw it in there to Haynes. Was it Haynes? I'm sorry, caught the ball.
Yes.
And Haynes was able to corral a pass and catch it, but the Walker defense was able to get to him quickly so he couldn't catch and run with it. And good completion, but being that it was 4th and 20, 15 yards wasn't enough to keep possession.
3:23 left here in this half of action. It is Walker 16, Yellow Jackets 0. Back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
Go Jacket, go.
Welcome back in. It is Yellow Jacket Football Family Radio 91.9 FM and on the web at johnfineproductions.com. Josh Ward alongside Mitch Covington as we bring you Jamboree action here from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Coming up, it will be the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show where we have some more exclusive interviews with John Fine and Jim McChristian, one of our good friends over at Ralph Sellers Chevrolet, and longtime former statistician of the Yellow Jackets, Mr. Robert Graves. John talked to them earlier in the week, and we will play those interviews for you as we continue Drew Nettles night here from Yellow Jacket Stadium.
Yeah, and as we mentioned at halftime, if you weren't listening, we definitely passing our condolences out to Drew Nettles and his family. Drew Nettles is a recent grandfather, if you didn't know. His daughter Claire has a baby boy, and I think 5 months old right now, I believe. But Drew's father, Mr. Richard Nettles, passed away just this past week.
Yes, we do send condolences to all of the Nettles family and everyone who is obviously feeling that loss right now. Will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It'll be at their own 16-yard line. It'll be a handoff in the backfield. Looks to be McClendon going up the middle, and he will get across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
So even though that last drive didn't end up with points, I think the Jackets can take some, something out of it. Starting at your own 8, getting the ball all the way down to the Walker 15, putting together by far the best drive of the night, and just something you're looking that you can build off as you head to next week. You know, you mentioned a while ago that at the end of the day, both teams are 0-0 when this game is over. This isn't an official game, so we're not going to play Walker again until week 10, and both teams will look completely different by that point.
It'll be Silv on the shotgun from 2nd and 5 from his own 21-yard line. Here is a snap. Will fake the handoff. Going to keep it himself as he gets to the 25. On his feet at the 30. Still on his feet as he will rumble up to the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, now I will say that is the concerning part about tonight for me defensively is the Walker's found a lot of running room. And, Walker's offense is replacing a few players from last year, just like the Yellow Jackets are having to replace on their side of the ball. So them finding running room is a concerning, thing going forward for the Jackets that we're going to have to be able to, stick it up in there a little bit tighter and not give up as much, 6-7 yard rushes on 1st down.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They will play it from their own 34-yard line. Silv from the shotgun yet again will hand it off to McClendon. McClendon trying to go to the left side will be wrapped up and brought down by a host of Yellow Jackets, but a name that we are familiar with, Elijah Butler in on the tackle on that one.
Butler in there at the bottom, Kai Darwan coming on the top, and just as we were looking for, Jackets had a few more guys at the front of the line of scrimmage right there and stuffed it up pretty well.
Minute 52 left here in the half. We have a timeout on the field. We will take it as well. 16-0 Walker with the lead. Back after this on Yellow Jackets football. Welcome back in. Yellow Jackets football, 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats, 33-yard line. They will play it from their own 33. It'll be Silv with a handoff in the backfield. I believe that is McClendon again going to the far sideline. He'll be pushed out of bounds for about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Mason Varese doing a good job getting up in there, helping to stop that play from the cornerback position. Also, a senior linebacker, Blaine Gibbs, flowing from the inside, helping to run them out of bounds.
Will be 3rd down and 9. They will play it from their own 35-yard line now for the Wildcats with just a minute 33 left here in this jamboree, and Walker with the lead of 16-0 over your Yellow Jackets. On 3rd and 9, Silv will work it from the shotgun. Here is the snap. We'll fake the handoff. Silv going to keep it himself, and he will get to the 35 and will be wrapped up and brought down for no gain on the carry.
Yeah, and then the Jackets did a very good job there, stopping Walker on that 3rd down play. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage on that counter run, and then Coach Beard electing to call a timeout here, try and get the offense back on the field to get some points.
All right, we will take a timeout. Minute 12 left here in this jamboree. It is Walker 16, Denham Springs 0. Back after this on Yellow Jackets football. We'll punt it away to the Yellow Jackets. It will be Hawkins getting it at the 30-yard line. Will be brought back to the 25-yard line as he was just not able to get any forward progression there. Is kind of trailing behind that one a little bit.
Yeah, good coverage by the Walker Wildcats as soon as Mason Varese, the punt returner. So Varese back there returning punts for us. That's right. Hawkins was back, I think, on kickoffs. We saw him earlier. Varese was back there on punts. Hey, early in the year, we're figuring it out, too. Right. We didn't get a special teams depth chart before the season started, so we're filling it in tonight so that next week we'll be ready for it. But not much room once he caught the ball.
Well, you know, Mitch, and I know you're making kind of a joke there, but I think there's going to be times where the Yellow Jackets are trying to piece some things together here offensively and on special teams just of what they lost last year. It will be 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. It will be a pass from Horn to
LaBeouf.
And it is incomplete right at the line of scrimmage.
LaBeouf on a little shallow route right there, coming across the field, a little drag route. Thought he had some room to catch and run if Horn could have put it on him, but Horn kind of misfired on that one. Jackets right now in a 4 wide receiver set. A couple of younger guys in there that we hadn't seen today. Deshaun Goldman, one of the receivers, and Caden Lewis, another sophomore receiver, making part of that 4 wide.
1 minute left here. 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 30-yard line. Horn from the shotgun will drop back. He's looking to throw. Will dance around in the pocket. Now he rolls to his right. There's a flag on the play. Probably going to be holding against the Yellow Jackets as he sells it downfield, incomplete at the Walker 40-yard line. Intended receiver was LaBeouf, and it's 3rd down now. Wait, check that.
That's definitely going to be holding.
I'm sorry, the receiver is that?
That's
over there?
That's Goldman. That's
Goldman. Okay,
that's going to be Deshaun Goldman.
You said he just came in.
Yeah, they just came in.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Goldman's a younger brother.
Oh, yeah,
you remember Tyree Goldman, the
Yep.
great running back. Pretty sure that I know the Yellow Jacket all-time leading rusher, and Deshaun Goldman is a sophomore receiver. His twin brother Dejon Goldman is a quarterback. Both of them did very well in the JV game earlier, and right now Deshaun is in there at receiver. Like I said, mentioned there was Caden Lewis was in there to go along with LaBeouf, and then Tylen Haynes.
50 seconds left here in this jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium. Again, coming up, it'll be the Ralph Stiller Chevrolet postgame show with some interviews highlighting the Drew Nettles induction into the Denham Springs Sports Hall of Fame. Here is Horn on 2nd and 20. From the 20, he'll throw it downfield. It is going to be completed to Haynes. Haynes will get to the 40-yard line, and he is right at the first down marker. Big pickup right there for the Yellow Jackets, and it is a Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Visit Big Mike's website and check out Big Mike's on Facebook. Yellow Jackets going quick here. Now they're going to down the ball with 39 seconds left at the 40-yard line. That will now be 2nd and 10.
A little skinny post right there by Haynes coming across the middle of the field. Horn put it in there on him. Good catch. Got a little scary at the end because as he got tackled, Haynes dropped the ball on the turf, but he was able to hop right back on it, and the Jackets got the first down. So after spiking the ball, should be playing 2nd and 10 with 39 seconds left. 60 yards to go to find the end zone.
And it is Walker with the lead, 16-0. Yellow Jackets will play at 2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Horn from the shotgun, waits for the snap. He will get it, drops, looks to throw, will throw it, and it is going to be complete on the far sideline. That was LaBeouf with the reception. He gets across midfield to the Walker 49. It'll be first down for the Yellow Jackets. A Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. Visit Big Mike's, who delivers through Waiter, Grubhub, and DoorDash. And Yellow Jackets will spike it again to stop the clock with 31 seconds now.
I'll tell you what, I'm watching this. I don't know if this is a new rule this year, but colleges and NFL, you know, the clock hadn't stopped much, and they got to where in college they would start that clock very quickly after first down. Well, just then, they didn't even have the chain set, and that referee in the white hat was waving for the clock to go. I don't know if that's a new high school rule that they're trying to be quicker in that spot, but normally if you were going to spike it, you had a lot of time to get up there and get set, and then you'd be able to spike the ball without running much time off the clock. But just interesting to watch it. I don't know if they're always going to start it that quickly this year, but we'll see as the season goes along.
We will, and hopefully. Well, I mean, would you prefer it to be quicker, or would you rather?
I don't know why we're always trying to end the game so quicker. Like, let the kids play, you know.
End it quicker. 2nd and 10 now. Horn will throw it. It is going to be caught by Byers midfield. Byers will get to the 45 to the 40, stays on his feet at the Walker 40-yard line, and that's where he will be brought down. He is about a yard shy of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
All right, well, we spiked it there with 18 seconds, so now we're playing a 4th and 1, and it's going to be 4th and 1, 18 seconds. The Jackets are at the Walker 40, so we got to pick up the first down here. Hopefully we can get out of bounds, but if we don't, we can spike it again, and then we're going to get a few shots going down toward the end zone if we can get a first down on this play.
All right, so Horn will get the play in from the sideline here. Again, 18 seconds left here in this jamboree. We are playing 2 12-minute halves. On 4th and 1 from the Walker 40. Horn, shotgun formation, gets the snap. Pressure is coming. Steps up, will throw it now. He has Byers at the 35, Byers at the 30, and Byers will pick up the first down and more as the clock will stop briefly at 9 seconds. It is 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Another Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill Jackets first down. You can play pool on one of Big Mike's 3 pool tables at Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. And
I'm just interested. I could tell you, I watched the chains that time, and as soon as I get the down marker set, that ref is ready to wind the clock. Well, you know, in high school, you don't have officials that are paid to do the chains like they do in college. You got, you know, some volunteer help. Sometimes it's dads or sometimes it's guys in the community that like to help out with that. And so getting those guys to move down the field quickly is going to be interesting to see that throughout the year.
All right, so with 7 seconds left here, Yellow Jackets trying to get something going. Probably the last play, if not 2 more at best. But it will be a timeout called by Walker. We will take it with him as well. 7 seconds left. Conclusion of this jamboree coming up after this timeout on Yellow Jackets football. Yellow Jackets football. We have 7 seconds left here in this jamboree from Yellow Jacket Stadium with the Walker Wildcats. Walker leads at 16-0 over the Yellow Jackets, but obviously just some learning things going on here right now, Mitch. With 7 seconds left, it's 2nd and 10. You have one play 2 at the most, and you can see with the timeout call there that you're trying to just get something in to like instill some confidence. I think try to get some plays in, like situational type stuff, I would imagine.
But at the very least, we've put together a pretty good 2-minute drive right here. So jamborees like that, these are still all scrimmages, you know. And so Walker's getting to work on their 2-minute defense. Denham's working on their 2-minute offenses, and those are just good live reps that you don't normally get to practice.
From the Walker 28-yard line, Horn will get it from the shotgun. He drops back. He is looking right. Now he will step up in the pocket. Pressure is coming. He is going to throw it, and it is going to be incomplete. As he was just a lot of pressure there on Horn as he gets rid of it. And it is now 3rd and 10 from the Walker 28-yard line with 2 ticks left of the clock.
Yeah, I think that's a good learning spot right there. Horn, when he initially looked to try and make this throw down the field, saw a lot of Walker defenders by the goal line and kind of moved over in the pocket to his left. Well, that gave the chance for him to get sacked, and that would have ended the game. So if you don't like what you see originally with the clock ticking down in this 2-minute offense, go ahead and get rid of the ball, throw it out of bounds, and that way you don't have the risk of a sack.
All right, it will be 3rd and 10 from the Walker 28-yard line. 2 seconds left here, probably the last play here. It will be Horn taking a shot towards the end zone, and it is up for grabs, and it is incomplete as the Wildcats will knock it down, and that will do it for this jamboree against the Walker Wildcats. 16-0 will be the final as the Wildcats will defeat the Yellow Jackets. Coming up, it will be the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show brought to you by Ralph Sellers Chevrolet, just over the Amite River in Baton Rouge. Ralph Sellers Chevrolet is located at 15015 Florida Boulevard and is open for your automotive needs. Ready to serve you at a Chevrolet location familiar to you for over 40 years. The parts manager at Ralph Sellers Chevrolet, Jim McChristian, who you will hear from here momentarily, is a proud supporter of the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Come visit Ralph Sellers Chevrolet. 16-0 the final. We are back after this on Yellow Jackets football.
best has, and as well as the Yellow Jacket.
We talked earlier this week with Robert Graves, longtime statistician of Denham Springs High School, as we commemorate Drew Nettles' induction into the Denham Springs
7
High School
seconds.
Athletic Hall of Fame.
5,
We're back after
4, 3, 2, 1,
Robert,
go.
thank you.
It is the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show, 16-0, the final here, Jamboree action from Yellow Jacket Stadium, as the Yellow Jackets will fall to the Walker Wildcats in this Jamboree. But this one in the books now. Look forward to next week as the Mandeville Skippers will come into Yellow Jacket Stadium, and we will be right here at 6 o'clock for the Sporting Center Yellow Jackets warm-up. That will do it for the Ralph Sellers Chevrolet postgame show, brought to you by Ralph Sellers Chevrolet at 15015 Florida Boulevard, just across the river here in Baton Rouge. Parts manager over at Ralph Sellers Chevrolet is Jim McChristian, a proud supporter of the Yellow Jackets football team and all Yellow Jacket sports, and a good friend of ours here at John Fine Productions as well. And obviously thanks to Jim and Mr. Robert Graves, all the guests that we had here tonight for this special kind of night for the Jamboree as we kind of get things kicked off here. Again, next week, Mandeville comes in to Yellow Jacket Stadium, and that's when the real fun starts, as the ones that really count will be starting. We've had a great cast of people here tonight helping us out. Again, John Fine, our producer, entering 28th season of Yellow Jackets football. Appreciate your help. Darren Ferrente, who has been on the video for us here tonight, and I just let a cat out the bag, but it's okay because next week I think we should be in good shape. Darren, I appreciate your work here tonight. Hopefully we can get you again up sometime whenever we may need. Again, just a great job, and really appreciate your help. For Lamine back at the studio, for Mitch Covington, I'm Josh Ward saying good night, everybody.